Got it.
Any other games, haven't we? We've seen other games utilize coaches originally just as kind of mentors and people.
Right.
Then we saw them. Yeah, they're allowed on stage, but they can't speak. And then they're allowed on stage, and they can have a headset, and they can be in the game. And now we've even seen them having their own PCs and their headsets as well, just to be able to see what the players can see.
I don't
that's
like
incredible in Dota.
Personally, I don't like
I'm gonna give credit to Navi. I think they have the stronger draft here. Just the Venge and Beastmaster along with Chen, that's a heavy push power. And I think they could take this game.
All right, as we go down the line, see the beautiful faces of all of our players on their... That is a perfect one for we.
Yeah,
that really is. That really is.
Moo also.
Look at
DC
that
really,
beautiful
you know, giving some to the fans here.
Oh yeah, they got their flair.
So which team do you favor in this?
You know,
draft-wise?
You know, it's... We were kind of talking about the Nyx Assassin versus the Phoenix and how the counter to the Sunray. It feels like it's something that we've seen before. Not mid Nyx Assassin. We've seen offlane Nyx Assassin attempt to be a counter to that. And it feels like, yeah, it kind of sounds pretty good. It's more of the fact that the Nyx Assassin matches up really well against the Puck in the mid lane. It's a counter to the Bat Rider. I think it's all those extra things that Nyx Assassin does that is going to allow him to be one of the few times that he's picked up successfully as a core, and one of obviously the much more rare times that we're going to see him mid.
He does not fit every game, that's for sure. And as you say, this is a great matchup against the Puck, the panel mentioned as well, the Carapace and the Mana Burn. It's just such a strong combination. Good aggressive wards here by Navi, by the way. Gonna help them zoning out move, keep control of him on the offlane.
The early attempt at a courier snipe, they actually had the Phoenix dive already going out, and he's got it in the bag. Tier 1 gives him some damage in return, but Saksa, one of the up-and-coming star support players, heard so many good things.
He's one of those players who grind to 8k MMR playing support. So he's pretty good.
If that doesn't say enough, I don't know what it is. We see the breakdown of our lanes. Moo matched up against Dichiron, Suneko, the mid lane, Weehaw and Dendi going at it. Obviously, Dendi missing out on his courier is going to be a little bit of a sore spot, but still.
He'll still be fine though, I think.
Yeah.
Nyx Assassin has great HP regen, and he still has an Iron Branch he can plant, so he should be good. Bat Rider just trading hits a little bit with Suneko, trying to get experience on this lane.
Unfortunately, poor Moo, as strong as Bat Rider is against dual lanes, because you just harass that support with sticky napalm and everything, it still doesn't quite match up to the way that Beastmaster just jungles effortlessly. So General will be probably slightly ahead as we go probably 6 or 7 minutes in. And as you said, kind of alluding to the Weaver is rather dangerous hero in lane as well.
We'll see if Misery is going to be a good pal and stack up some jungle for his Bat Rider so he can recover later, because yes, this top lane is not good for a Bat Rider. Against Weaver, you can't farm, you can't be aggressive. You cannot kill him, that's the issue.
That's exactly the job of Misery right now, is he's going to be stacking up that hard camp.
Yep,
Very
a good pal.
Position.
And meanwhile, it's the Phoenix who starts pulling and getting some levels.
The advantage still pretty heavily in Dendi's favor, 9-5 compared to the 6-2.
Well, he should be slightly winning this farm, and being ahead in CS and having 4 creeps alive is worth mentioning.
Yeah, so he's actually very far ahead in CS, as to be expected. The question is really going to come down to, between these two tempo controllers, who's going to be more successful once we start getting into that phase where they have their levels and they're trying to gank those side lanes. And that will really determine which one of our mid players comes out on top.
I just realized as well, it's Dendi playing Nyx against Weehaw. Weehaw is one of the players who did mid Nyx a lot. It's a few months ago, but he played that a ton. And very fun to see him go up against it himself here. Of course, that Mana Burn is making his mid lane quite miserable.
Saksa in return. Oh, looks like they may have Moo locked down. They managed to get the missile onto him. Dichiron going in for the dive. Last little bit of extra damage coming out from Dichiron. Successfully claims our first blood against Moo.
Beautiful kill there, and that's gonna put even more momentum to the safe lane Weaver, who has great CS right now as well. I wonder if he's gonna go for the Orchid build here on Klinks just because he's against the Weaver. Sometimes you want to punish that. If you get the Orchid early enough, there's no Lincolns, there's no defensive item yet. You can take control of the game a little bit. Or if he's gonna go the Desolator build, which is safer.
Yeah, definitely the Desolator build is the build that we're seeing pretty much all the time on Klinks, but I think you're on the money there. I think this is one of the few times that you really gotta got to consider at least that Orchid, just because you know Weaver's going to be such a problematic hero once he's able to get that Linken's, because at that point in time, then your Batrider becomes a little bit more questionable as to how well he's going to be able to shut down that Weaver.
It also doesn't matter if he gets the Linken's eventually, because then you still have one more thing to pop it in a team fight.
Right.
Oh, Chen is just coming here to make sure that General can have impact on the lane.
Yeah,
Not
and
much more than that.
he also sees this stack, so
Juicy.
this is supposed to be the Batriders. He's supposed to be able to work with 2 different stacks here. Down to Navi are really going to be able to take too much from here.
No, I think if he gets the persuasion on the other Hellcaller, he could do a lot here, or the Tormentor.
Oh, yeah. So he could have double blast.
Yeah.
That would actually be a really good call.
There we go.
There it is. Unfortunately, he had to lose his other State of Blast, but that's okay. One more comes out. Moo is now here, but he doesn't have his Firefly.
Oh, mystery.
They are going to have the wraparound, though. They're going to try and use all 4 heroes to get the kill onto Artstyle. They're going to be able to lock him in, and General just goes for the TP out. He's like, see you later, Artstyle. I appreciate everything you did for me in this lane. We helped do some damage to the Batrider's farm, but in the end, I have to let you be the sacrifice.
Yeah, Bat is still pretty happy. He came down here and got experience with that kill.
Nice sneaking stun from Seneko, but it's not going to be enough. Dendi unable to follow that one up, it seems, as he didn't quite have enough mana at the time.
Yeah.
With the combo stun.
Still good aggression, though. I like Navi's rotations, but DC also responding very well to the bottom rotation by 10. And this is the power of Weaver, by the way. You can leave him alone. He's going to be fine on his own device here, and there's really not a single hero DC can put against him that's going to have a fun time.
Yeah, as we're seeing, Misery was just attempting to get a little bit of experience, immediately punished by Navi.
Yeah. You had to sort of expect that. When Seneko was just mid, don't know where he is yet, but there's a very big chance he comes up here and tries to fight with Weaver.
Now Moo cuts right back across. Doesn't want to be giving up this tier 1 too early, and he's already kind of farmed up his stacks, so he is going to be completing the Tranquil Boots. Looks like he's going to be going for that Tranquil Boots drum route that we've seen before from Batriders in the Chinese scene. What do you think about that build?
It's a build that relies more on being tanky enough to run in, force the enemy to try and stop you, and still tank through the disables and the spells that they throw at you, and then get the lasso up. It's an interesting route, and of course you get very quick when you pop the drums, so for a few fights you're very strong. I'm not sure on it, but
I feel like
how
it's
it works.
Particularly strong with the way that we've seen when teams are trying to be aggressive into a Batrider team. Instead of having that Blink Dagger, but instead having like the tankiness, allows you to be able to defend towers a lot easier.
So Miko taking a lot of damage.
Got the send back,
though.
and no more fire damage is going to be coming out, so...
That's good. Finally, one gank at least that DC managed to make it out of there. Of course, they did live mid as well when Weeha ran away, but that having to run back all the way on mid or dying is actually almost the same. Sometimes that time they invest running back to Fountain hurts you a lot.
Counter ward already laid in place by the Radiant side. They didn't actually see that Kling's coming in, but Dendi easily protects himself. Not sure what the plan there was. With just the Dream Coil, there was always going to be a Spike Carapace, and underneath the tier 1 tower.
You cannot tower dive. You had your Clinks there for sure. He makes the early rotation. You want to push pressure, but you cannot tower dive a Nyx who's full HP. It just does not work out.
And that's one of the things. Like Nyx Assassin mid, that shouldn't be a hero that you feel the need to go for a dive onto him.
I think this is the bigger part. You wanted to get all the way top.
Yeah, and now Tijira is going to be lassoed up. That should be enough control for sure enough Moo to be able to get that kill and speed up that drums into a Blink Dagger a little bit later on. So that was definitely the kill that Digital Chaos needed to be able to find, and they successfully grabbed it.
Yeah, now he can be up here as well and pressure the lane with the Clinks, and Weaver might be the one who doesn't find a safe home to farm anymore.
That does
mean see Artstyle and his rotation here. Even though the smoke is coming in, they have not seen that, but they know Artstyle is coming.
This is one of those classic things, though, about Nyx Assassin, right? Is that his movements are a bit easy to read, and him being missing from that mid lane does seem to tip off Digital Chaos, and they back away from the top lane.
Resolution getting really close and personal here.
He's just got the Dark Pact. He just needs a disable from one of his allies, the TPN, the Phoenix, and
he's actually
just hoping the Shadow Shaman will get close enough. Wee is actually going to be taken out in the mid lane, and doesn't seem like there is any go opportunity for...
I wanted to mention about Nyx, his early rotations. As you said, when you're a mid Nyx, your rotations are really obvious. It's sort of like being a mid punch in a way. you can't really gank without the enemy team knowing that you are ganking. But Nyx can farm up some good items on mid lane, get the Ethelens going, or even a Midas into Aghanims, whichever build you want to go down. Oh, gonna fight up against Misery here. He has some backup coming in.
Dendy should be able to hit that stun, and Misery is going to be surrounded very quickly. They had to blow the Primal Roar for that one, but that'll be just fine for Na'Vi as they find yet another pickoff and still keeping a lot of pressure on that top lane. Still nobody from DC stopping the Chen and Weaver combo.
They have the drums available now, and they're trying to go behind with the Clinks, but I wonder if they can catch anyone here. There's the Ensnare and Stomp as well.
All right,
he kills off.
Kill some creeps. Send back though, and looks like they've only gotten one out of that.
Oh, they got 2 creeps. Killed the wolf and the...
Oh, okay.
So he's just forcing the Chen back. The push stopped, but that was still good tower damage. 1,000 damage to a tier 2 tower. That's gonna make Weaver's job a lot easier later on.
And plus, he rotated 3 cores from DC to that top lane, and it was pretty much unsuccessful.
Of course, giving more space to Beastmaster, who is...
Yeah, Dendy though gonna be caught out as Wrap comes in from DC.
A lot of early rotations here. It comes down to the Clinks a lot as well. Just moving your carry aggressively here with DC.
And that is kind of one of like the signature things about Clinks, right? Is that he outputs a lot of physical damage, but it's also the fact that he comes online rather quickly when it comes to movement around the map. You could see up at that top lane, Ditchira just pushing back the Batrider, but it's mid where most of our attention is going to be. Is that tier 1 tower should be going down here. The question is whether or not Na'Vi get the deny up against the Serpent Wards. And
oh, they don't.
Missing out, but still they are able to farm up the Shadow Shaman Wards, and that's a decent chunk of change back into Na'Vi.
That is a lot of money, and you were mentioning the Clinks and how he comes online a little bit earlier. The thing about him is, he comes online aggressively. Some carries, like Lifesteer, great at counter-keeping. We see good Dust coming in here, actually gonna punish the early rotations now, maybe.
Yeah, Resolution turns around, actually just goes for the Courier, does successfully get it, and now at least he gets a little something in return. I can't believe that Courier just died like that. Should have been just a free pickoff on Clinks.
Yeah, I mean, money-wise, he actually put his team ahead in that little exchange. Of course, getting a kill and the experience you get, the downtime on the Clinks, it definitely hurts more for DC, but good consolation prize.
Dendy skittering around here is going to find an opening between the tier 1, tier 2, was looking for any kind of rotation. And now, I think he's looking for the Batrider to farm up the offlane camp, but Batrider is obviously instead sitting in DC's very own jungle.
This Shadow Shaman is having such a nice game. Courier died twice this game, the tower is already down, and he got the last hit on that tower. So he's looking to get a pretty early Blink Dagger here, and that's when Weaver actually has to worry about him.
Yeah, we are going to have this monster timing from DC where they've got tons and tons of initiation if they can actually get that Blink Dagger online early, because then they'll have the Batrider as well.
Oh yeah.
They'll have Puck to be able to jump in, get the silence. He's a pretty notorious hero against Weaver as well. So they will have this period of time where it's like
the smoke on
minutes.
smoke. It's happening.
Na'Vi, though, they're only bringing 2 supports and offlaner, and DC will be able to get the first disable in. Move, trying to be able to stop this one, but General already going for Zakta and unable to get off the Supernova in time. They're getting a lot of fire damage out. It looks like Na'Vi may lose a couple of their supports, and Seneko is going to be chased down by Misery. Ditchira managing to get some damage onto Mu, while Weeha did clean up the other supports. So Ditchira actually still going for Mu, hoping that last couple of auto attacks would be able to finish him off. And dancing around, but DC...
There is a ward down. They have to be a little bit careful going in there. Of course, everyone is down on this bottom lane. General is just walking in like a boss. He does not want to be careful.
DC draws back underneath the cover of their tier 1 tower, and Na'Vi did try and surround that tier 1 and were considering going for some sort of pickoff, but not going to happen. Ooh, Dendy spots Resolution right next to him.
Dendy also very close to his timing here on the blink, which I assume he's going for. If you want Ether Lens, he already would have it, so can only assume that's going to be the build from him.
Yeah, I think that does make sense. You want to be able to put some pressure. Like, first of all, you need fast responding to both Sunray, right, as well as Batrider. Yes. If he's lassoing somebody back, you want to be able to jump in there with your Spike Carapace.
And there's just so many heroes he can counterplay right now. If he has max level Carapace, which is getting closer to, and he blinks in, then Shadow Shaman can't use his nuke. Puck is really easy to counter pretty much everyone, apart from the Torch Lane.
Maybe stop a Shackles from that Shadow Shaman, you get a little bit faster. If it's on someone else, there are many opportunities for Dendi to be a counter initiator here.
I would love to see General just farm a little bit more, because getting this max level on Necronomicon would be really important for him. Right now, controlling runes a little bit and thinking about rotations.
It seems like Na'Vi are trying to hit DC where it hurts just before that timing that we were talking about with the Blink Daggers and everything else. It seems like they're trying to hit Digital Chaos and slow down that option, because they could just be sitting back and farming more on both General as well as Digi Raw. But instead, they're playing a lot of 5-man into the Radiant jungle. Big problem, though, they've yet to take that tier 1 tower, and DC are playing around that fact quite well.
There's also this ward that has been spotting them for a long time, and DC can make the comfortable decision. What do we want to do? Trying to go for the Axis into Aurora here, but gonna back out immediately.
Catch Misery with the Swarm, and a little bit more vision from the Vengeful Spirit as well, but DC, they're still close enough together that there isn't really a clean opening for Na'Vi.
How good would a hero like Ember be in this game? Look at the other lanes, like nobody farming, nobody split pushing, everyone just posing for this bottom lane right now. I feel like DC could have sent someone top and just be ready to TP down instead, but they're picking everyone down here for a long time.
Seems like they're going to give up on that bottom lane, and they do get caught on their way out. Misery is going to be the one-off, as now Na'Vi will be able to claim the tier 1.
Misery is their sacrificial lamb. It's always going to be him, but that's fine. As long as the rest are getting farmed and getting the items. It is a little bit sad for him to die when he could have had such an early Blink Dagger, though.
That's okay.
Dendi.
Oh, this is a big pickoff. They could actually catch Moo here in the act of trying to farm up the Dire jungle. It looks like that is the case. Moo just not gonna be able to get out. Swap to another right click.
Enduring it, yep. And Roshan being attempted at the same time. And that's a very fast Roshan.
Yeah, this is definitely an early one. 15.5 minutes. This will give Digital a big boost, because now he can play offensively, not have to worry so much about the heavy disables that we were saying Digital Chaos had to be able to counter Na'Vi. So
it's about what farm is available to your team. Right now, Digital can farm down here when no one else could have, and he could not have done that either without the Aegis.
Yeah.
But now he can pressure down here while his team controls the rest of the map, and they should be effectively out farming DC.
Yeah, and when he gets the Lincolns, that'll mean even more opportunities, right? To be able to split push aggressively or be more active
definitely
in team fights.
As the Blink Daggers are quite delayed, the only one that's actually up yet is the Batrider Blink. And Puck, of course, going for the Veil first. Sabrasta dying a little bit. The smoke here on mid, though. Lasso probably on the Beastmaster.
And they get the coil, and now the swap. They still have managed to actually maybe save Artstyle. Oh no, don't tell me Digital Chaos. They're trying to run down these heroes. They will be able to get Artstyle, but now the counter comes out for Na'Vi. They manage to get the stun onto Weehaw, comboing him down, and might not be able to escape as they manage to get the pace shift up, but no. He gets the right click in. General managed to pick up that killing spree. Na'Vi have lost 3 though, and DC just keep on moving forward. And now they're going to be able to catch Dendi as he tries to retreat with his Vendetta, and it's just not quite enough. The spike airbase is not enough to keep him alive. The burn damage from the bird and the bat is enough to get the triple kill to Moo. Holy crap, he just got so much gold out of that.
There was a massive miscommunication on Na'Vi, though. They went in with the Aegis Weaver in the backline to kill the egg. If he had one single hero helping him, a single auto attack on the egg, he would have killed off that Phoenix. But instead, he was then left alone against the Rasta, the Batrider, and the Phoenix Sunray. He just died. So
I mean,
Aegis lost and died afterwards.
Let's look at the way that fight initiated. One-man Dream Coil on Chen, Lasso also on the Chen.
Yeah, and Swap. And Swap saved it. So.
At that point in time, you could probably just give up the Chen and be like, all right, sorry, buddy. You know, they used double ultimates and call that a win. But Na'Vi trying to fight that one out unsuccessfully, as the successful Supernova does turn the tides to the favor of Digital Chaos. Na'Vi, though, not going to be putting too much here on the brakes. They're going to try and keep on going. Catch Resolution, no mana already, and no hope to escape.
No way out. You can't underestimate Na'Vi even after they died. Their triple kill, of course, really nice for Moo, but they have Blink Etherlands now on Nyx all of a sudden, and this Beastmaster with Necro 3, that's really powerful. The towers are going to take a lot of push from this.
Digital Chaos, their composition is much more team fight oriented, And in that case, Navi will have a lot more opportunities to be able to split with heroes like the Beastmaster and even the Weaver once we see damage item picked up for him, which I was presuming was going to be the Desolator as soon as he finishes that link.
Oh, yeah, most definitely it should be. He could go for something else if he wants to. He could go for Maelstrom or something if he wants to attack speed. Being able to proc on both the attacks is pretty nice as well. But I think Deso is the safest bet here.
Yeah.
So they got the mid tower, they got some damage done on the bottom tower, but more importantly, Navi are right now controlling where DC are moving. And they got a good aggressive ward as well. See if they can keep that or if it gets dewarded.
Combined with the Hawks. I think Navi is kind of one of those teams where if they do manage to get some control on you like this, it's worth making the investment into a gem just because you know they're going to exploit your position. Fortunately, that kind of ward ever so barely managed to find that.
That was really close.
Yeah.
It was on the edge. They smoke up immediately afterwards. See how Navi are gonna play this out. They're grouping up on mid looking to smoke on their own, I think. Or, no, they don't even have one. I'm not sure. They're just backing out and playing safe.
Yeah, I think that was the smoke call. I think they assumed that there was going to be a push through mid.
They are
to try and
aware.
catch a hero, and that's why immediately
They're
backed up
pinging bottom.
mid, but
They're pinging bottom to indicate that, hey, no one's farming the tier 2 here.
Mm-hmm.
The push is coming into a tower and no one's taking the money. That's kind of suspicious.
And that's why it's always key to try and push out the lanes before you go for that smoke. Kind of serves as just an alarm. You see a tower being hit on the enemy side, and you're just like, they're not defending that. What's the deal? It's got to be a smoke.
Can I just take a second to mention, I can't believe how farmed Artstyle is. How does he have 102 CS in this game? He's been pushing a lot of different towers. He's died 3 times, and still, he's up there with Chen. He's going for that Aghanim. He's 1,740 gold off.
Artstyle Chen, man. Artstyle Chen.
Yeah, he did play Chen Enchantress almost exclusively in Dream League in the playoffs, and he had a very good run with these 2 heroes. He also plays Disruptor really well, but they play well around this.
Might be a good idea to go back to the ban both junglers against Navi. We'll see.
You just can't do it though. Maybe in the second phase, but when they open Bench Beastmaster, you have to get rid of the Drow and Lycan. It's forced by their first picks. So good way of drafting by Navi. Oh, Nichira he has the Lincoln, so he's a little bit safe, but that Ether Lens on Shadow Shaman can be quite deceptive.
Yeah,
those long-range disables.
We've got the Force Staff as well on the Bat Riders, so there are opportunities for quick plays. And let's not forget the AoE silence. Lincoln's not going to do much about that, but the initiation is down from Navi. They blow up move.
Quick plays happening indeed. Capitalist as Dandy goes in.
Turn from tier 2 to a high ground push, I think. You just forced this one outright, I believe.
Oh, you definitely do. I mean, they have decent high ground defense, but not that good when Batrider is dead. Puck is good, but if you're gonna defend with Shadow Shaman, you have to get so close.
Yeah, you know DC will be able to... Oh, they jump in from Diddy! He does the Spiker Airbanks and it's done! They're blowing up Weehia! He's already gone! Saksa now going to be swapped into a Primal Roar! Picture perfect execution from Navi as they find the outground opening. All led from Dendi.
That's his Rex. They don't even have buyback. That is so important. Wow. What a nice play. We're talking about how in theory Nyx can work. That was exactly what people dream about doing.
Absolutely. Now Navi can back out feeling damn fine about themselves.
That came out of nowhere. First at the tier 2 tower, DC felt maybe we can defend this one. Oh, we're dead. And then like, oh, they're pushing high ground. Well, we should be able to do. Oh, we're dead again.
Yeah, we were just about to say, like, oh, you could say the DC can spam out, but they can't really initiate, right, without a Bat Rider. But Nyx Assassin Spike Carapace, one of those abilities that will punish you for trying to spam. We saw it there.
Oh, really hard, that punishment. So now Chen has the entire Aghanims. He's gonna grab up one of these Granite Golems. Very nice creep to get this early as well. So much extra HP for your team.
You're looking at Digital Chaos who are, I would say, pretty reliant on being able to pop some heroes before they get anything done. That's what these heavy disables and heroes like Puck are all about. And being able to tank up like that, have that Granite Golem in play, is really going to put a lot of wrenches in Digital Chaos's plans.
Yeah, it will. Interesting to see that the Weaver, instead of going for a Desolator, went back for the Dragonlance. Just the extra range, good stats from it. I mean, it's an extremely effective stat item.
Dendi. He already used the Spike Carapace, but unfortunately our Puck is just a bit too bit too far behind to go for a solo kill like that.
Very elusive hero to try and kill. Smoke coming in mid from DC. Gonna look for something here.
Yeah, they gotta find an opening now, right, before Roshan.
It's a good timing as well. All the lanes are quite pushed, but they're being pinged.
Uh-oh, swap back in. Oh, in trouble. Weehawk managed to get the silence up, but he also got stunned up by the Spike Carapace. Now the Supernova goes down, but it's immediately blown up as Na'Vi put their attention towards it as a 5-man crew. Resolution and the only one standing in the middle of everyone with his BKB doling out damage, but he only can kill one. Dendy managed to get the stun onto Misery. Will be able to get away with the Spike Carapace active as Digirwa will take out that support. And just like that, Digital Chaos call it. Navi's initiation at that bottom lane was just too damn good. And Digital Chaos can't even come back.
Navi, they're looking really strong in this group stage. First taking down Secret 2-0, and now going into this game, just making it look easy against DC.
Oh, very easy indeed, man. Navi back in form as they are just one win away from being able to take top of their group.
Yeah, the way they made their draft work as well, I don't think teams I don't think they understand how strong art style is on Chen and Enchantress though. He helps put so much pressure. The Dandy pick on
Artstar was in that really good Mind Palace right now where he's everything I do turns to gold.
Pretty much why they picked it up together. And they're gonna pick a carry though.
actually a dual lane.
Really like Navi's draft.
Yeah, we'll just keep replaying that segment back over and over again. Black.
I think Navi will win if the Tinker gets a good game. If they can shut down Tinker, Navi will lose.
Okay, that's sort of hedging his bets, but I'll let him off. Purge.
Cop out.
I think I'm gonna commit to DC here. I feel like the Winter Wyvern's Cold Embrace really counters a lot of what Navi does, at least until like mid to late game when he gets Dagon and Tinker. So, but they need to get a lot of kills definitely in the mid game. If they don't, the game's gonna be real one-sided late.
Okay, alright. Thanks to all three of our panelists. We'll hear from them after game 2. Can Na'Vi make a clean sweep of it and take it 4-0? Let's find out with our commentary team of Wagger and Capitalist.
That's right, Valve is truly blessed me at TI5. I got the opportunity to cast with Blitz in Storm Spirit games. Now I have Wagga with Carry Void games.
Yep.
Is this the game, Wagga? Is this the Carry Void game?
I mean, Ditya has played the Vanguard Radiance before, but actually I talked to him at Dream League about a build where you go Vanguard Echo Saber, and he said, I like it. I'm like, yeah, I like it too, but you cannot continue Radiance. And he played earlier in this tournament. And so did Ditya and Resolution have both played this. It's very interesting. Strong builds where you go for just a fighting Vanguard Echo Saber. But we'll see what we have here in this game.
Let's see, whatever our lane's going to be matching up into. General already showing himself at the top lane against Resolution. We'll probably have some support, at least one support behind him. In the Winter Wyvern, we are going to have Digital Chaos moving around, obviously, with an Enchantress. You mentioned rather early on, it was like, look at the way that Digital Chaos are addressing art style. They pick the Enchantress for themselves, ban the Chen in the second phase.
Yeah, they're really trying to not give Na'Vi their comfort zone, and I think that's a very smart approach. Target Na'Vi supports. Do not give away Wisp, do not give away easy Chen or Enchantress, and if you are going to give them, then at least pick to counter it.
A Bouncer Rune matchup here. Digital Chaos gonna try and
cast?
take the top one here, but the cast already bouncing around as DC get delayed up. They are gonna be able to pick up this kill on Artstyle thanks in part to the arrow that landed. Now Saksa has to try and get out before he's a return kill, and it's actually gonna be General 2-0 for Digital Chaos to start things off, and they already get some extra damage in as well. So yes, both Bouncer Runes being picked up by Na'Vi, but certainly not worth it, especially not without that experience buff.
Really nice arrow coming in. That was important for him, setting up the entire fight, so move on point with that one. Gonna try for one more arrow mid, it looks like, sending it off.
And it will slide right past Snako.
Optimistic, you gotta try for a lot of arrows though, that's the way you play Mirana.
it is going to slow down his farm a bit, as that is one of the crucial things about offlane Mirana, is that you need to be able to take advantage of your your ability to take out neutrals.
On top lane, picking some aggression here as Artstyle comes in. Actually a dual lane with the Beastmaster and Witch Doctor.
Forcing him to use the Arctic Burn to escape. Still a decent win, even if they don't pick up the kill.
It's a decent win, because Void doesn't have that easy of a time farming against the Beastmaster. Beastmaster has tons of damage, and pretty good armor as well, so...
And it's good sustained damage, right? Which means that the Time Walk is going to be very useful for restoring your HP, so...
At least they nerfed the early level boars, but when he gets some levels going here for the Beastmaster, he gets back to the same point that you know him. And a powerhouse hero.
They are going to be trying to pull out with that hard camp. Now, this is one of the big advantages of running alone. Druid Navi are able to leave him alone against Moo's Mirana, and this means extra help, obviously, at top, as well as at mid. But now the full wraparound Misery is going to be able to get into a position with a Centaur stun, should be able to guarantee a kill on someone here. Artstyle turns around, forced to throw the cast at the Enchantress and his creeps, which means that DC are still able to easily pick up the kill. Now General has to juke his way through and try and get a TP out, not able to make it as it looks like he's caught out. Sure enough, Misery managed to get the stun in time.
Too many creeps.
And General is going to end up going down here. 2 kills, now 4-0.
Even his own board just attacking away at him there. Poor General. He was a general, no longer. Usurped. Yeah, bottom lane should be going very nicely for Navi here. That's the good side of things here, but rotations from Enchantress. Been in 4 kills already.
Yeah. And even if the bottom lane does go well for Dichira, Moose should be able to get a decent amount out of it, and that's more than most of the time you're going to see from offlane Miranas, right? So
that's true. Navi themselves are no strangers to offlane Mirana as well, as General plays it quite a bit. And sooner or later, she always catches up in farm.
Yeah.
It's my experience with Mirana.
Yeah, you get that Axe, or you fan of the Midas into Axe?
Oh, I don't like Midas into Axe. I like the Axe rush because you don't really need Midas. Levels is not super important. You just need to get the Axe as soon as possible, and then your farm is gonna come naturally.
A little bit of Sunray damage, nothing major. Just taking out that Forge Spirit. But I am completely with you on that one. I think most of the pro scene is as well. We've seen very early on when the Mirana was being picked up, it was like a lot of Midases into the Aghanims, but I think teams have realized, Aghanims is a farming item. You don't need 2 of those. Just pick up the Aghs and you'll still get more than enough.
The biggest part about it is when you get the Blink Dagger afterwards. If you get the Aghanims into Blink, then you can just take fights so aggressively with the Blink and always have to leave to get out. That's the power.
Potentially get 1,200 damage on one hero.
And we see Misery just running in here, putting pressure on the bottom lane.
See if they can get the Golem stun out. If not, they may have to just kill this Spirit Bear, the arrow.
They're trying for it. They're stunning it.
Yeah, they should be able to pick it up. Oh, gets the reason of it. Oh my god.
The damage block. Oh, the Sunstrike. The Mercy. Wow. They really wanted to kill that boar. Weehaw, gotta say thank you for that 300 gold. Mid laner is happy.
Dichira does have a fresh bear though, so that is not going to be able to put him too far out.
And here he comes again with the double
shard golems. Let's see what happens. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Artstyle is going to be slowed down here by the Arctic Burn. Hoping to be able to catch the Splinter Blast. Does actually get so successfully. Back over to the bottom lane, where now you see the Spirit Bear trying to get himself or block out. Oh, the Sunstrike! No!
The tower's gonna
What
get
a dodge!
Misery's dead, so Dichira actually picks up the kill.
Misery able to get out. Now Moo, he's going to be caught as well. So looks like the Sunray's going to slowly burn him down. The Bear unable to get that entangle and unable to keep going for the dive as Dichira can't quite catch up. But man, Dichira, nice sidestep there, realizing that Sunstrike was going to be coming in, because if that was just if he ends up going down there, DC are happy. Trade off of support for a carry.
Very good awareness for sure. And I think DC are probably the happier ones in this game though, with the way things are going. They're just getting a lot of momentum with the Enchantress. However, there's the downside that Dendi is farming a lot on mid. He's actually doing really well against Weeha in CS. He's out-CSing him by quite a bit, 27, 28 now for 11 against 15 and 3.
And that was one of the things that Black obviously hedged his bets on, and I think pretty much every analyst is willing to hedge their bets on. If Tinker does well in the first 20 minutes of the game, then you're going to side with that one. So this is obviously something that Digital Chaos know that they have to address eventually. And what do you think their game plan is going to be? Is it going to be rotating the Faceless Void once you get that level 7 area? Or...
Maybe some smoke rotations, just 2-man rotations with a Winter Wyvern +1. Because if you have the Sunstruck always available, and if you just use the Winter's Curse when they TP in, Black brought up a really good point there. You can do this out of a smoke and just surprise the Tinker. Yeah, look at these stacks for Dendy. Just tons of gold to farm up here.
Yeah, that is another thing Digital Chaos haven't really addressed at all.
And he has the Soul Ring now as well, so he can easily farm this. He always does this, by the way. Some Tinkers, they skip the Soul Ring, go early travels. Every single game that I've seen Dendy play Tinker, which is a lot of games after watching Dream League, he does the same build.
Hardstyle is going to be caught with a cold snap. Arctic Burn guaranteeing a near perma-stun onto him. The Sunray is not going to be enough to be able to stop that kill, but Soxa now has to try and go for the TP. Unfortunately, General is not level 6. Just 200 experience shy of being able to claim that counter kill.
It's the downside to running a dual off lane. Sometimes, yes, you can have more impact on the lane, but you're also sharing experience, so he hasn't really gotten to that point where he's level 6 yet. The jungle Beastmaster could easily have hit it by now, or just using the jungle a little bit and laning.
Ichiran not too far away from the hand of Midas.
And Resolution is completing his Vanguard on Void here, as he has 1200 golds whenever you want it. He could go Treads first, though. I think kill potential is more welcome.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one.
Treads.
There it is. Especially since
there's just not much burst damage on the side of Navi really to come up here.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe when the travels are up on Tinker, he comes in, but Treads can give you HP as well if you just keep them on strength.
Yeah, and for me, it's about like what is the Void going to be able to do? Because I do feel like he needs to be able to rotate out. Because I'm not sure if just
this the prank
It's a hard kill though. Yeah, it really is. With the right Savage Roar, Dichira might be able to get out of this one. They will land the point blank arrow, but now he's going to run into the Sunstrike. Not quite yet dead as the Sunray helps keep him alive. A Splinter Blast from Soxa, though, will be able to get that kill.
So much they has to sidestep. It's the Sunstrike coming in, so he has to share that tank with his bear, but then when the bear is close to him, he dies because of the Ice Shard or the Splinter Blast. It's just so much. That is painful.
Well done. Digital Chaos using their, and they really have to, if they're going to keep that Void up at the top lane, they need to be able to utilize these two supports in the off laner combined together to start shutting down some of these Navi cores, as they do get the kill on the lone Druid. The Tinker is still free farming.
They want to go with an arrow and Chronosphere on top, TPing up the Mirana even though she's really low. See if she can sneak around without getting seen by the Hawk.
It doesn't even have enough for a Starstorm.
Yeah, all he needs is the arrow after. But General sneaking into jungle right at this moment.
Good opportunity for him to farm away that offlane camp. Not sure if that's just good awareness or just a little bit of luck.
Could have been a bit of both, I think, because he realized the lane is pushing anyway, so he doesn't have to keep contesting.
Yeah, I would just be really impressed if he knew that kind of rotation was coming out, right? Just after the bottom lane was smoked and everything, to have a rapid rotation up to the top lane would usually be unexpected.
Sometimes things just work out for your favor, and sometimes you get a gut feeling that you have to back out as well. You're not really sure why. Could be either.
Did he have a Hawk up?
He did, but not that saw the Mirana rotation. So right now, Mirana is obviously off the map, and now for a long time, you know something is up.
So General pulling the wave off of the tower and farming it up with his boars.
He's a tanky hero though. They would definitely need the arrow and the Sunstrike to land, else he's not gonna die. That Beastmaster is not an easy pick. Mirana actually gonna TP down bottom again. The TP top doesn't get anything sadly, but then a lot of farm coming in bottom.
Our two supports from Digital Chaos were spending some time together in the jungle, but they will now show themselves the top lane. I think they're determined to be able to take away that off-lane tower and get a kill on General in the process, and sure enough, the Chrono leading into the Splinter Blast, and of course, the Sunstrike should be a rather easy kill for Digital Chaos.
Not trying to counter TP with anyone there, just focusing on their own game, getting Dendy farmed. He hasn't traveled in base now though. He's gonna be ready soon to start taking part of the fights. This tower though, probably gonna fall without contest.
And then it's gonna be pretty annoying. Oh, they get the stun on Dendy. He's pretty low. They are gonna be able to get the... Oh, not quite. Enchantress managed to get the kill there on the tier 1 tower. Resolution undoes all the damage done. The Sunray still keeping up and giving DC a bit of a tan, but still 7-1 Digital Chaos as they now take the first tower of the game. Still though, Dendy with his...
Dendy should use the courier and send out his numbers right now. The courier is not being used and could have had it. But he is using that soul ring to keep farming for quite a bit actually.
Navi, just because they have Tinker and Lone Druid farming away doesn't mean that they can play all defensive. They do need to see some moments of aggression. We're going to see right here. They catch out Wee. Moonlight Shadow goes down. Do they actually have the counter vision? They do not. Wee.
And no point in Maledict either, so there's no way he's gonna be going down. Tries for a Sunstrike actually.
Ooh.
He gets on Echo, but Artstyle was there sharing the tank. But the support of Navi, you mentioned earlier a little bit about the supports. If we look at the network right now, they are struggling. Navi are falling behind a little bit in comparison to the Enchantress, who's been getting a lot, running a Midas. And Winter Wyvern is also pulling ahead in farm. He has the Soul Ring, so he can start farming even more so and push out waves. I think DC are setting themselves up nicely here.
Yeah, they've got this kind of like fourth core essentially in the Enchantress, while Navi are going to be more dependent on the Tinker and Lone Druid as this game goes later, while their supports are going to be less impactful.
Definitely so.
At least we'll say one thing. Phoenix is one of those heroes. He can have like 10 net worth. He'll be fine.
Oh yeah, at the late game stage, he's always going to have a massive impact just by dropping that Sun Ray.
Is this, do you think this is an Aetherlens Aghanims game for the Tinker, by the way? You do have a decent number of right-clickers on DC.
Almost every game is.
Yeah.
I really like this build. I think it's so strong and should be used quite a lot. I think he should start with Blink Dagger though, just so he doesn't get caught out so much when he TPs out. But going back for Aetherlens and then the Aghanims could be a really good build for
Chrono Sphere, Sunstrike, and Arrow. Yeah, they've got everything. They've got a little bit of everything. DC,
some kitchen sinks, and yeah, they wanted that guy dead.
Essentially every bit of hardware that you find in Lowe's, Digital Chaos are thrown at that Lone Druid to make sure they can get that kill. The offset though is that Navi are surrounding this tier 1 tower mid. They're trying to find the opening onto Weehawk, but he does seem to know about this. I mean, this is pretty natural. If you're going to go for a 4-man smoke gank like that, your solo hero does need to naturally play defensive, so whether or not he knew exactly what Navi was up to, or he was just generally playing a little bit farther back, either way, the outcome is the same. He dodges the gank.
Navi mostly just spending his time trying to get that Necro Book for General, just farming away and recovering a little bit levels. Of course, Tinker also closing up a leveling is going to be a big thing. But I think it's a correct decision by Navi, not fighting right now. Wait for the key moment.
When they do have those Necronomicons coming up, they do have a lot of split push pressure there between Lone Druid on one side of the map, Beastmaster on the other, both of them able to push down and threaten towers really easily, and then Tinker with this obviously, global presence. It does set up opportunities where they may be able to force Digital Chaos to split apart, and that's where you can find openings for kills.
That's when Beastmaster can really punish, yes.
Yeah.
So it's a nice draft in that sense. However, DC are having a very good laning stage here against them as well, so...
Let's not forget about the opportunities of Tinker being able to jump onto the Beastmaster's Boars or Hawks, and Saksa.
Well, he's farming from so far away. It's hard to catch a Winter Wyvern farming a lane. Not the easiest thing to do.
Is he going to try and eat his way through or something? Snako just trying to get some damage, but
one more
tier
free
1
tower.
is taken.
That's 2 towers in a row dropping for free. Nothing really being given in return.
It's pretty rough. I mean, the off-lane tower, okay. Safe lane tower, you don't want to get that up, but it was a 4-man smoke gank that turned into a tower. Understandable. But the mid tower, I mean, that is so essential, especially for a hero like Tinker, who's so reliant on being able to have those TPing positions.
They're just going to go in for this. Winter Wyvern, he's being doled right now.
Oh man, but he actually manages to get away with the Arctic Burn. Now the Moonlight Shadow also going down.
No counter TP needed. He just casually walks away, slides away.
So many resources blown there from Navi. I mean, just time itself, where Navi were trying to set up that gank, then they just go all in for it, and they still miss out. They're still not going to be able to get that tier 1 tower very easily, as Winter Wyvern didn't have to TP away, so he's, again, Splinter blasting his way through, and keeping the creeps off the tower, while the rest of Digital Chaos go for this tier 2.
Yeah, DC growing more confident as they've been getting these towers for free, and that failed gank on top as well. They're just going to go in, getting greedier and taking a tier 2 tower as their goal.
Looks like it might be time for Resolution to go straight up for the Radiance. He's got a decent amount of gold built up.
We'll see what he wants to go for. Oh, going in for the kill on Artstyle first, though. And he's gonna
Artstyle
go-
actually.
Oh.
Oh, somebody finished him off. Okay, there's the shot.
It was a nice try, trying to get the Beastmaster as well. Not let anyone get away, but sadly. I don't think it's gonna hurt him too much that Chrono is on cooldown though, because Na'Vi, they don't really have a lineup that can force so much to happen right now. They're waiting to become monsters, yes.
Yeah.
When they max out their aura on Beastmaster, when the Necrobook is high level, and then, of course, adding the Lone Druid to the push, that becomes a monstrous combo. But right now, it's fine to have cooldown on Chrono and try for that kill. And I think he might as well go Radiance here.
Yeah, and it was pretty essential, right, for them to be able to get more than just a support after they rotated some of the heroes top, and there was move. Trying to get himself a leap away. General's got to be careful. He's diving into a tier 1 tower here. He's got the backup of Denny. He's going to start throwing down those heat-seeking missiles. Will be able to get more damage on Moo, enough to be able to finish him off. And that ultimate from the Winter Wyvern just does absolutely nothing. Now they're going to be able to catch Doxa as well, and early Supernova, just to make sure that Digital Chaos are not there in force.
All right.
And won't be able to do anything. Na'Vi take the tier 1, and things turn around pretty heavily.
They do manage to capitalize. They know the Chrono is down and they play ultra aggressively. There shouldn't be too much to punish it. I didn't expect Na'Vi to actually find something during this time, but they made a nice rotation.
Yeah.
And made good use of Soneko's Phoenix as well.
Yeah, you can see Denny's positioning there on the right-hand side just allows him to be able to get so much free damage, and as soon as that Splinter Blast is, or rather the Winter's Curse used by the Winter Wyvern, there's just no recourse. Na'Vi at that point in time can just play ultra aggressive. They obviously pick up the extra support kill, but I think even a bigger thing is being able to take some map control away from Digital Chaos, claim that tier 1 tower mid.
Oh yeah. So now the tier 1 tower mid and top are gone. They're starting to equalize this a little bit. And Soneko, he's a really, really good player on a ton of different support heroes.
Uh-oh.
Gonna dodge that one. Not really a dodge though. Running to his team.
Okay.
Okay. Still a little bit jumpy on the ulti.
Yeah.
Not really needed.
Maybe not expecting that early force staff from the Enchantress.
Relic is up, and there's 1,000 gold on the Lone Druid right now, so he's very close to this Radiance. And once he gets it, that allows Na'Vi to start putting more fights, really. Just TPing in with a Tinker, running in with Lone Druid Radiance. It's going to be hard for DC supports. The Mirana and the Void, though, can both jump away, and it's always hard to lock down Invoker.
It does seem like DC are playing a lot more heavily for the late game than I kind of expected them to. From about a month ago, it seemed like their playstyle was really early aggressive. But in this series and this game especially, they seem to be playing a lot more for the late game with the Enchantress, spending a lot of time being able to farm away, picking up the hand of Midas. They don't seem to feel overly pressured about trying to stop the Tinker. Do you agree with this approach of the game? Because Tinker is one of the scariest heroes to go up against late game.
Tinker can always become a real monster when he chain disables, especially against a Void who relies on getting time walk off, stuff like that. But I think they're just playing to their own power peak. They realize that when they get the Radiance on Void here, he's going to be really, really strong. A lot stronger than a Radiance Lone Druid. And it's an okay choice to just farm up. You have an X-Word Invoker. And Mirana, of course, once you have Aghanims on her, that's when she starts becoming useful. So they're very close to hitting that sweet spot when they can start taking fights of their own.
It seems like just before the Aghanims comes in for the Tinker is where DC are going to strike the hardest. Because I'm a bit scared of the Aghs Tinker with so many right clickers, right? You've got the Faceless Void, who at that point is just Radiance damage. Enchantress, a big one. X-Sword Invoker outputs a decent amount of right click damage as well. So
it's not just that. There's also some targets that you can use to bounce the laser off. Like you can nuke on the Enchantress Creep or on the Fortress, and that's gonna bounce onto the heroes. So that's also useful. But I wonder, it's not that easy to play Tinker against stuff like a Mirana once she gets the Blink Dagger, or Invoker even with the Aghanims. This is a very farmed Invoker.
Yeah.
Pre-20 minutes, he has Midas, Aghanims, Drums, and some gold, just 300 gold. But he's the #1 farmer.
Smoke up from Na'Vi. Again, I think the timing that you're talking about, Na'Vi are very aware of that. and are going to exploit that as much as possible. Digital Chaos trying to hit them before they manage to get that Radiance. We saw them do it in the mid lane. They're going to try and do it again. Unfortunately, they don't see an opening to get a hero pick, so this Roshan kill is instead just going to become kind of a bum rush, where they just go for it, hope Digital Chaos are not going to be there in time. Doesn't look like they will be anyway, especially with Dendy beginning to set up the March of the Machines. It's not even like that jump would look very profitable.
Had to run all the way with Void. Didn't have a TP, so they're getting there a little bit late, but still in time.
Rockets start going out. There goes the Moonlight Shadow. They clean up the Necronomicons, and with the Necronomicons gone, I think Na'Vi don't want to fight this. Unless they see some sort of amazing opening, but DC not trying to be overly aggressive again.
But now you have
Radiance.
a low HP Roshan, so both teams really want to play around this area. You want to keep your attention to this part of the map. Good D-ward coming in here. Mirana has her Aghanims and looks to push out bottom.
Yeah,
Question is if Na'Vi can fight without the Necrobook. I think they have to wait for Necrobook to be up before they do anything.
Yeah, I agree on that one. And I think DC at that point in time, they just need to try and push out that bottom lane. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be possible with the Spirit Bear obviously there, but try and push out that bottom lane, try and push out mid as much as possible. So if you are forced into a scenario where you have to give up that Roshan or the fight goes bad, at least Na'Vi can't immediately transition from taking Rosh into faster towers.
Exactly.
Offlane tower is something you probably have to give up, but you want to protect your tier 2s.
Yeah, you might lose that eventually, that's fine. Blink Dagger complete on Beastmaster now, and Void taking this little time here, this little pause after Roshan was attempted to finish up his Radiance on top lane.
This is a good
the
choice.
roar.
Oh, no, boom. Good force snap. He's going to be able to buy him a little bit distance. Unfortunately, Sunray's still there. They have the Rockets coming in. Nice. Winter's first. Now the follow-up. Beautiful Chronosphere. Setting all of this up. They're going to be able to pop Hardstyle inside of the Chronosphere. General, who's already blown everything he has. Doesn't really matter if he goes down, but it looks like he will end up going down either way against Wii. Now the lone Druid Bear actually burning a lot of these heroes from DC quite low. Unfortunately, there's just enough sustain to be able to keep DC alive, and they're even going to be able to pick up that Spirit Bear, an extra 300 gold on top of the 3 hero kills that they got. And can they do Roshan for themselves?
They
should be able to.
They definitely could. They have so many heals. They're going to back up and heal up in the fountain with some of them, but just controlling the area for now. Probably going to push up mid with the Void and then going for it. Beautiful Chronosphere just catching 3 heroes, and also the counter initiation. Force Staff just saving your teammate, making sure Mirana doesn't get bursted, and then Winter Wyvern turning the heat on. Oh, it's beautiful.
I think DC reacted really well, but you could also say that was a pretty bad mistake from Na'Vi. Looking for that opening on Moo, that was good, but at the same time when they got drawn in, the Force Staff went out, and then they were like, let's keep going into that point. You're going into a tier 1 tower. You know the Faceless Void. He still had that TP ready to go, so he was able to get, just a beautiful Chronosphere follow-up after the Winter's Curse. There were so many things about that fight that were just inherently bad for Na'Vi as soon as that Force Staff save came into play.
Yeah, I was not a massive fan of that dive, but they did seem very stressed to do something. They have to play around the bottom area, as we mentioned earlier, because of Roshan being low. And if you see a chance to go for a pick with Beastmaster, you might just go for it.
Well, they're still going to try and take this tier 1 away. It is one of the more problematic towers when looking towards that Roshan objective. So they finally take it away from Digital Chaos. And 4-12 now, as Na'Vi start circling around the Roshan pit, hoping to be able to recover some of those losses earlier by grabbing themselves a second life.
DC should definitely not shy away from fighting right now. They want to take these fights. They're in their power peak. They have every item they want right now. And Na'Vi, of course, they have to make this work, because they will fall behind if they just start farming. Even if Tinker can become really strong later on, you don't want to rely on.
Trying to catch the Spirit Bear, but the Sunray will keep it alive. Moonlight Shadow was blown by Digital Chaos there, spotted out as well.
These rainbow impetus, so much damage, so beautiful.
Misery is going to be outputting a lot of damage very soon. He's got minus 4 staff and halfway through, or 2/3 of the way actually, through his Aghanim Scepter.
Many players on Enchantress will not go for this 4 staff, but I think just against Beastmaster, it's a great reaction item pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of players, even on the opposite team here, seeing our style, will normally go for the Dragonlance, Aghanim's, Moonshard build-up, but this is just so good against Navi's draft. The Force Staff really makes this build.
Yeah, completely agree with you on that. It helps against Lone Druid and Tangle a little bit.
They also have the
as well.
Glimmer capable though, so while the Necrobook is being completed level 3 by Beastmaster now, quite late in fact, he opted to go back for the Blink Dagger before he had the full Necrobook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about that decision.
Well, it certainly didn't work out because that Blink Dagger was part of the reason that they went for that fight at the bottom lane, right? He blinked in to try and catch Moo. Obviously, that fight did not look real good.
It was a gamble. Sometimes you have to hope that you will get a chance to catch the Void or Invoker and
Yeah.
disperse.
And maybe he feels like,
Oh,
obviously...
they're scanned.
Oh,
They're getting scanned right now.
right outside of Roshan Pit, so Na'Vi probably going to start grouping up and heading towards that Roshan Pit soon. They've got to wait out the smoke first.
Yeah, Navi should be expecting them to almost go for Roshan even here, but they have the Hawk, of course.
So they know DC, while they were right outside the Roshan Pit, obviously they're still looking for that kill, not going to find it. And as a result, Na'Vi are actually going to be able to get a bit of map control because of this. They've got the mid lane pushing out,
They are
top
farming
lane's
away.
pushing out pretty hard too.
Yeah, it's the Tinker effect. You just cannot leave your lanes unattended for long enough. It's very irritating to play against Tinker in some regards. And having that Aghanims and Ether lens on Tinker, the next team fight, Na'Vi could surprise with the amount of damage they can output. And what's the
damage?
The HP on Enchantress looking quite good now as he completes the Dragonlance. 1300. Just gotta be wary about your HP pool against the Tinker with Aghanims and Ether lens, because it's gonna hurt.
General. Oh, okay.
Alright.
About to throw a word of criticism to General, and he shuts me up real quick. Just about to say, come on, dude, get that Necronomicon. And he just, like, styles with a quick blink against Resolution.
Some jumpy ultis this game. Good try, but again, that's the second time he tries to ulti the Beastmaster, but does not get him. Last time was a TP away, this time a blink away.
And now, with the Chronosphere down, seems to be a free Roshan for
Yeah.
Na'Vi.
Yeah, I think you have to give this Roshan up. Navi are not weak. If you don't have Chronosphere, you don't take that fight.
Not against the Marching Machine spam. The Phoenix, great Roshan fighting hero.
Even the Rocket Circuit sucks on. He has to heal himself up just because he got rocketed by...
Oh, they jump in from Moo, gets a little damage from the Starstorm. Just poking at Na'Vi, but obviously they have that pipe, so it's not that big of a deal. Looks like Winter's Curse is going to be able to come in, catch Dark Style unawares. Oh, it's ripped apart by Nichira. And General, the Supernova now goes down. Just as a little bit of zoning. Weehawk may actually be the target. Quick Force Staff buys a little bit of time. Sliver Cave still not enough. As now the Sunray burning through. Digital Chaos Misery is going to be going down. Resolution will be able to get that time walk away. No problem. And Na'Vi turn their attention right back to Roshan. Saksa. Oh, he's going to be caught. Sliver Cave TP out. Oh, actually goes for it, but not able to get the Aegis. Managed to get the leap out. Turns around, throws out the arrow, catches General, making sure that he can't pursue. Good attempt at a big play there from Moo.
I like how he
just
blinks
wasn't
in
enough.
and wants to get it. Normally Moo plays something like Slaughter and then yes, you can very easily kill off Roche, but as a Mirana with brown boots, your Roshan killing is not that fast.
Yeah, he was probably looking at a fight and just being a bit desperate at how bad it went for Digital Chaos.
It went really bad, but they're fighting without their biggest teamfight control. They have no teamfight hero apart from the Invoker. So Invoker is very often a reactive hero. You need to set up with a stun or something to lead, and Invoker can work based off that. So, and looking at the rest of the heroes, they really don't have much setup. And that was interesting that they chose to take that fight still. I think you have to just accept and give away the Aegis, farm out the other lanes.
That's going to be what Digital Chaos are going to be focusing on for now with that Aegis up on Na'Vi. They're pushing out the top lane and a little bit of mid, trying to deal with the Tinker at bottom lane. Na'Vi, in the meanwhile, we've got the Aegis in hand. So what other items do we really need for Na'Vi for them to start being aggressive and looking to take tier 2s? Or do they at all? Do you like to play more of just a passive style farming game for Na'Vi at this point?
You want to get to tier 2 towers for sure. Right now, I don't think they need more items, in fact. They have the pipe on the lone droid. That's going to be really good for them. And at just mitigating all the radiance damage, just controlling the DC team. And they're pulling pretty far ahead right now in farm. So I think just keep pushing, make sure Tinker pushes out the side lanes and go down mid.
Lots of vision for the Tinker to be able to freely bounce around in this bottom lane, knowing that he's never going to be caught by Digital Chaos, and that's a big part in thanks to the Beastmaster Hawks.
Yeah, very good micro on the Hawks. Always scouting, always on top of it. Guess I one into the Radiance right as I say that. Good old Castus Curse. It's fine. But Manta Style being completed on Resolution is pretty big item pickup normally. I just think that the axe on Tinker could completely shut this item down.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy to keep your illusions up and running when the laser bounces off them.
And he can try and get rid of the miss effect from the laser by popping Manta, but then the other one's just going to come right 2 seconds later. So that really does make Tinker enemy number 1 as far as Digital Chaos is concerned.
Yeah, truly. I don't know. DC, they're still trying to play the farming game, just get people around the map, and seems they're going for a Hex on Invoker. I think he is. It could have been Lincoln Sphere as well, I suppose. Oh, actually he's going back for Yules? What? 31 Yules after an Invoker from you?
Is it some sort of idea of being able to get combo on the Tinker? Like
Yeah,
forward, Yules?
I guess so. It's just... That's why I thought the Hex is coming, because that would make more sense. But the late game Yules pickup.
Maybe he feels a bit of pressure to be able to get that disable item now in the next 3 minutes.
That's good, fair.
There it is, jump forward, gonna be able to catch Doctor, but oh, the arrow actually hits General, and now the tornado actually comes through. Seneko throwing out some damage there. Does manage to hit a number of heroes with the Fire Spirits, but it still doesn't matter. Tier 2 is going to be going down here. Digital Chaos can't seem to stop.
Yeah, this Bear is really farmed. The Moonshard attacking so fast.
And now with the Shivas, Dendy's going to have even an easier time being able to push out these waves.
Yeah, Dendy's a very good Tinker player as well. He spammed that hero so many times. And he hasn't died a single time. He also has 10 CS per minute, quite precisely in this game. 325. Doing quite well.
Top 2 net worth for Na'Vi. Their support's still a little bit low, but they're making an okay comeback. They're tied up there with Soxa. We've got an almost Ags for our style.
The thing is that this is still anyone's game. You have kind of this 3 core on DC versus the, I'm gonna call it the 2 core of Na'Vi, because Beastmaster, well, he's the strong hero. He doesn't turn into that much of a late game DPS or anything like that. Void, Invoker, Mirana can definitely scale well into late game.
Right.
So Na'Vi, they need to keep using the strength that they have right now, taking these towers. And this Bear with the Beastmaster aura is so crazy right now.
Yeah, it does seem pretty clear that Digital Chaos wanted to be able to make a big, 3 or 4 damage core sort of setup with their lineup, and weren't trying to pressure Na'Vi too much, but they really didn't want to be behind at this point. And now they just have to keep on giving up. Uh-oh. There goes the Cyclone. Going to be able to catch the Tinker into the ultimate there as Resolution quickly surrounds Dendy, but not getting enough damage. Now the arrow actually doesn't land. Dendy going to be able to get some rearm and tries to chase down. No, actually jumps up. Sees Misery as the opportunity. Gets a slight stun. Slows him down with the Jeebus. Gets some more burst damage. Misery gets taken out just like that. Now the jump forward. Soxa is going to be going down as well right outside of Digital Chaos' base, which means Na'Vi goes straight for the tier 3.
Yeah, he has to buy back here to defend. This push is way too strong.
Time for some spam. Splinter Blast still has Winter Burst up well, but with the Necronomicon and Spirit Bears, if they don't jump soon, they're going to be losing their full lane of racks. Now the buyback here from Misery jumps forward, force stabs, trying to catch the Spirit Bear.
Double support buyback. That's pretty costly, and they're still looking to pressure here.
Na'Vi not backing away from the fight just yet.
They could easily back away and it would be fine for them. They don't have Roar anymore, but they do have Eggs, so maybe they want to make something happen with the Phoenix ulti.
Yeah, it does say a lot about Na'Vi that they were even considering to continue to go high ground there. They feel they're in a very good position in this game, that they didn't immediately run away when they saw buybacks, right?
think
That they
most-
thought, we might be able to take it.
Most of it comes down as well to this Tinker. The Aghanim just does so much for him right now. He's really shutting down the Void. He's making sure that anyone who stands against him just dies so quickly. We saw the enchantment.
Oh, General. He's going to get this timing. They had some idea that the Invoker was at bottom lane at one point in time and was backing away, but General didn't quite get it there.
Just barely missing. DC spraying out across the map and trying to farm all over. They haven't really tried to shut down the Tinker in the way that Black mentioned on the panel, just trying to set up with a Winter Wyvern ulti. Through a smoke or something like that. I think that could have been a massive pick. Because they have not killed Dendi once. Tinker is a hard hero to catch, but if you don't even make an effort to try and catch him, he's just gonna have a field day.
Yeah, we see it at the top lane. They start approaching the lane, but Dendi, he only needs a few seconds to start spamming out March of the Machines and get himself out of there. With Bloodstone now complete, this could get even worse.
Yeah, that
for
means
Digital Chaos.
That means he has mana to sustain his level 3 rearm. Between the Shivas and the Bloodstone, he has the regen and the max mana to just go into a fight and do so many new combos.
Oh, Dendi. All right, that's one way to be able to catch him out. Just race car straight into him. Weehaw.
Radiant's middle tower
Full
is
out.
under attack.
Charges the Tinker. Gets the Cyclone straight into the arrow.
That's what they need. They need to catch him somehow. So if the Yule Scepter is going to be the item to do it, I'm all for it. But any item they go for had to be to shut down the Tinker.
We really need to see the continued levels on this Invoker if you want to be able to continue to put pressure, because the rest of these heroes, like, not many of them are going to be able to really threaten the Tinker like the way that the maxed out Tornado is going to be able to, right?
Yeah.
A lot of vision, long range potential catch against him.
Once he gets level 6 on his Wex, that's going to be really good for him. And then obviously go back for a quas for the Around the World Deafening Blast. But as you say, he is the key to shutting them down. Double smoke going down here. As TC here can smoke straight down as Na'Vi walk in front of their base.
In the night.
Definitely.
Digital Chaos. Gonna be, I think, the ones a little bit worse for wear here. I think they were a bit more dependent on being able to find some sort of smoke initiation.
They're pinging it out though. They could maybe get a wraparound here, but it's going to be pretty delayed. I wonder if Na'Vi are gonna sense this one coming. They could get a great.
Master. He's really far forward, so he's not going to see the initiation. He managed to get to the two towards in the back, but doesn't get Ditchy Raw. And now the Primal Roar goes towards stopping his damage. Art Style is going to be taken apart eventually, but DC have already thrown so much, it's actually going to be worth it. They need to be able to take out the Supernova. They're drenching it down the laser, comes through, but it's not quite enough. The BKB goes through, and Resolution and Misery both go down from a combo laser from Dendi. Saksa has to save himself, but it's not good enough. Dendi pounces once again. The Rocket's able to take him out. Triple kill for him. And DC, they thought they had it. They thought they found the initiation, and maybe if it was a 3-man Chronosphere, that could have been good, but unfortunately, Dendi, man.
They just have solutions for everything. Of course, DC felt pretty confident that 2-man Chrono was good. Void had a BKB, so he's going in for the kills, but Roar comes in, stopping him entirely. And when the BKB on Void was down, then Dendi was around as well.
Yeah. It seems like the damage from this Faceless Void is a bit lacking as well.
He just, I think Aghanim's Tinker is super great against what he's doing. The manta style is almost useless this game, and there's nothing to really manta off. It seems like a struggle. Whoever invented this build is clearly an idiot.
Are you taking a lot of Roshan time? All right. You scared me.
I'm just taking some of the heat from this. No, it's fine. So I actually think it comes down mostly to them not being able to catch the Tinker in this game.
Yeah.
What makes them really struggle. But the itemization on Tinker really counters them. Yeah. It feels very similar of a game where I played Chaos Knight and played against an Aghanim Tinker. This was Excalibur Tinker. Yeah. He's a monster, and your illusions cannot do anything. That's the same thing as Void in this game. You just do not hit anyone.
Not gonna lie, Waga. I was not a fan of the Radiance Void. It ruined way too many of my games, but I gotta give you props, man. It's definitely worked out quite well in the postseason. Maybe not in this game. We'll see. It's definitely not the fault of the build, though. You're right. Resolution needed to be able to catch this Tinker, and unfortunately Dendy's just falling out of control here.
Yeah, this bear is just a monster as well, so you have to deal with either a Tinker or the Spirit Bear.
Oh, they're doing a pretty good job of dealing with the Spirit Bear, it seems. They almost finished off. The laser is going to be able to put a stop to things. They actually get a Chronosphere in. They're trying to go for General, trying to take him out before he gets out the Primal Roar, and they can still get the Spirit Bear as well. They actually get a Winter's Curse on top of a Deafening Blast. They're putting out damage, but it's not doing anything just yet. Now the Supernova goes down. Looks like Digital Chaos should be able to address it with their Shooting Swords in the back. Dealing the damage, Art Style's going to go down, and Dendy has abandoned ship. Or maybe not, he's actually coming back in. He's going to go for the Shivas, try and see if he can find somebody to pop. Moo's going to be the target. He doesn't have the pounce away just yet. Catches him ever so barely with the Shivas, and the laser to follow him up is able to take that kill. No supporting crew whatsoever from Navi here. It's just Ichira and Dendy by themselves, and as DC start healing themselves up and coming back into the fold, Navi have to stop their aggression. In fact, they're going to lose their Spirit Bear, and if they're not careful, they may just lose Ichira as well.
Yeah, they could definitely catch him here.
He has to juke his way through this one. Shivas starts coming in. Dendy puts himself right in the middle of everything. Goes for Weon, takes him out. Now Misery's going to be open, and Dendy jumps forward. Once again, you're not going anywhere, Misery. You're slowed down. You're going to be nuked to death here. Doesn't give a damn about those whips. A little bit more as the Bloodstone kicks in. Enough for Dendy to finish off the kill and stops DC's movement forward.
And he's filling that stone with DC blood right now. 15 charges, and that's after he died almost immediately when he picked it up. So he's been working his way up from 9 to 15.
Look at that. 7 rockets, 5 lasers, 10 rearms.
7,800 damage.
Yeah, that was, I mean, we kind of set this whole entire game up that the way that Navi were playing this, and just naturally with their draft, this was all going to be based around the Tinker and the Lone Druid, and that fight describes it perfectly for us. It puts it on a showcase. 3 heroes instantly dead from Navi. Had no impact whatsoever from the supports or the offlaner. Didn't matter.
Yeah, and he's gonna have Hex now as well. He can swap out his Ether Lens for the Hex, but there are 3 BKBs on DC. They can still take a good team fight if they get the proper initiation.
Yep.
They've been struggling to get it a lot because of General and his Micro on the Hawk. It's so hard for the Void to get in. And the times they did smoke, chips in the night, as you said. They could not really find the great pickoff. So I feel DC, they have the possibility to take a massive fight. It's just a matter of how do you engage it.
It's getting harder and harder too as those BKB charges start wearing down.
And the Hex now, the threat of just being chain Hex.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be a real thing.
Moonlight Shadow Initiation, Art Style, that's a freebie, but it's also, again, a freebie. Not really worth that much. Whoa, what was that? Oh, he actually caught Dendy. Didn't realize he completed that TP. Now they actually get the Winter's Curse onto the Bear, slowing down the Lone Druid to make sure they can finish off Dendy with 3 versus 1. He commits the Bloodstone Suicide, but DC found the kill. They really wanted. Digiroz still able to get the TP out, though. And I think he's hunting for more. The Tornado goes out, not going to catch anything.
Yeah, he sees red right now. He has his Blink Dagger up soon. He's going to back off and kill off the summons, though. They want to go for a push on mid. Tinker, of course, respawning quite soon with that Bloodstone, but so have a moment here.
He'll be up to be able to defend their tier 3 as long as nobody else from Navi gets picked off, and that's why Digital Chaos were playing so aggressively.
Just a tier 2 tower, though, is still a very good payoff after getting 2 kills. And they're actually going to back out early here. They realize the threat. They don't have Chronosphere. They're not going to make the same mistake again.
Yep.
We've seen them take fights where they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still chasing. I don't know. I don't think so. His team is too far back.
No.
The Hawk TPN, though, with the Hex on Tinker is always a scary thing.
Yeah, so like the Spirit Bear runs so fast. You have the Tinker able to TP in and slow people down with the Blink Shivas. You really do have to, get out of that tier 2 tower area very early on.
Oh, he's going for the rearm Blinks for top lane. He wants to catch out the Invoker. No Linkens on him.
It's Invoker unless he...
Good. 6th Sense
TP's
on Weehaw.
just barely in time. A second or 2 later, and maybe Dendy would have been able to catch him out.
Speaking of Dendy, I like how he's keeping his Ether Lens and Null Talisman as relics of his old past here. He's not selling them off. I'm not sure.
Do you think there's any possibility that
he probably won't be going back for a Null Talisman. I mean, maybe Dagon later on in the game, for sure.
Yeah,
but,
and is there...
The Ether Lens probably is not going to be used again.
Oh, Resolution. General sees him. Chronosphere unfortunately doesn't manage to catch Dendy. Saw a split-second opportunity. Now has to deal with the Supernova, but can actually. So that's going to be DC out of their BKBs, and they only got the Beastmaster for a move. Uh-oh. He's still got the pounce to be able to get himself out of there, get some distance. But again, you know that Blink Dagger's up on Dendy. He's going to be able to pursue. They've got the Sunray to be able to see some damage. Seneko dropping lower and lower is going to go down. Had no Supernova, obviously, used earlier in the fight. Looks like the Spirit Bear going to be the next target. Should be able to get that extra 300 gold and put that bear on cooldown. So
and look at DC, the team fights. When they have BKBs up, it's really hard for a tank to go into that.
Yeah.
And there's not any big, apart from the Phoenix ulti, which of course, the egg is really annoying, but when the BKB is up, they ignore this. They don't have any teamfight control.
Yep.
Apart from the egg, and I feel DC can definitely still win this. It's all about the initiation.
Yeah, I really like, I gotta give props to Moo there for that. I mean, when we saw Moo surrounded by 4 heroes, like, what the hell is he doing? But it actually made a lot of sense, right? He made the read. Hey, we killed the Beastmaster, there's no Supernova, I've got BKB, let me put myself in the middle of all these heroes, slow down their retreat, and we're gonna be able to get some extra.
And once his BKB was starting to wear out, he ran out very quickly. So yeah, he made a very good play there. Nice little illusion rune find for the Void.
You never know if a play like that is what successfully gets maybe, you know, a Tinker kill or something like that if you can stall the retreat of Na'Vi. Now, we just had a really interesting pick up the Shadowblade now. For the Beastmaster, initiation is everything for Na'Vi. So,
but the same thing happening on the opposite team, Blink Dagger now in Winter Wyvern. So that's also gonna help him not get caught out and be there to save his teammates. But the Shadowblade build on Beastmaster, it reminds me a lot of when watching Arise play Magnus, Blink, 4-Staff, Shadowblade, all these items. It's all just about positioning.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same scenario here for General and his Beastmaster.
Looking for that pickoff. He's going to start running himself through the dire jungle, but DC playing very far back here, and we talked about it whole game long. They set themselves up to be able to have a really good shot at being able to contest Na'Vi's late game. Despite individually these heroes maybe being stronger, as you know, Tinker, one of the best late game heroes out there, but they have multiple cores on the side of DC, all outputting a lot of damage, and they're not afraid to just stall.
If they get to a point where Enchantress gets Moonshard, I think DC are in a great position because they have the quad core going.
Yeah. Or MKBs as well, I think, are pretty important. Resolution looks like he's about to finish his.
He's really close to it. He has 4,000 gold, so he could buy it with buyback in 400 more gold.
Okay. So there's another reason for DC to play very conservatively at this point, because that's definitely going to be a game changer. As Resolution has, in the past, had to blow his BKB just out of fear of what the laser does to stop his damage.
Of course.
Not going to be a big
This
problem.
could be a great refresher game as well for the Void, by the way. If he sells the Vanguard later on to have 2 BKBs and double ulti, that could be really, really amazing. And Na'Vi, they know they want to go high ground. That's why they're playing so aggressive in the enemy woods here, but it's just hard to do against an Invoker and Voids and the spam from a Starfall Mirana with the Aghanim's, of course.
Yeah.
How do you just go high ground? It's not that simple. And we're also at that point where the Spirit Bear can actually be dealt with. Enchantress can definitely bring that down. The Ice Wall is always a good solution. They're gonna go and check Roche as we hear the Mirana in this.
Unfortunately, Roshan is not up, or maybe it's fortunate for Na'Vi, because they might actually get caught here. A pincer move. They do see, they have the scan, they spot this one out with the arrow, just landed on the lone druid. That's a bad start to this fight already for Na'Vi. Move right in the middle, things starts getting the damage out. Supernova is going to get popped there, and the tornado actually slows down the damage. They now try to address this. Oh no, it's just a split damage. The Supernova successfully goes down, and just seems falling apart now for Digital Chaos, and Dandy takes advantage of the chaos. He's able to blink, catch the Weehawk, going to be able to get the side to fight, and chain him down as we unable to be able to get away from this one. Another side, make it 3 with the laser to finish him off. Digital Chaos lose 4. An arrow to start things off on a lone druid. You thought it was going to be good, but it turns out so bad, and that was just a dysfunctional team fight.
I think they have to save their Invoker to catch the Tinker. They almost have to do this because, as you said, the Tornado wasn't really helping them over there anyway. Yes, he was controlling the backlines, killing off the Beastmaster as well. as the Witch Doctor, but he has to go for a Tinker.
Yeah.
No one else can really catch him there usually, so that's his duty. Oh, Dandy going in.
And we come forward to see a little bit of replay of that last fight, the way that that tornado interrupted the damage, but then they went back to the supernova. Didn't really work out whatsoever. And from there, the fight was obviously lost the moment the supernova did successfully explode.
Yeah, that fight was over, but they're actually forcing a high ground push here as Navi going for that melee rack.
Oh, Snako, careful, friend! Oh!
Very close to going down.
15 HP, long range tornado.
He'll live thanks to his HP regen.
Yeah. So he skedaddles out of there. Back to base he goes. Navi know that Roshan should be up, and they're going to check it with the Hawk now.
They have 5.6k gold on their Lone Druid as well. We hyped the Dandy Tinker a lot, who also is sitting at, you know, comfortable 6,000 gold. But this Lone Druid, I wonder what item he's going to add up next. Not really sure. Oh, he goes for Abyssal on his main hero, I guess, or even eating the Moon Shard.
It's fair enough. You could use some extra disables.
Oh, for sure.
A slippery hero like
It's the way to counter
Like the Void.
a Void and Invoker. If you ever get close to the Invoker and you chain stun him, Abyssal first and then afterwards Saboteur. Very great way to bring him down. General in the Roach Pit here, getting hit by an arrow, but DC gonna back off.
DC, I believe they've already used... Is that another smoke that they just popped?
They did, indeed.
Okay.
They're smoked right now.
So this has got to be like their last smoke, right? They used one for the last fight. They'll blow another one here. They're going to make their way through the Radiant jungle, try and catch something.
They have one more smoke in 2 minutes, in fact, so this one
okay.
doesn't have to work, but it would be nice for him if it did.
I'm surprised they have so many smokes.
Now we know exactly where they are. Yeah, it's quite long of a game, actually. 52 minutes in right now.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like it because they've been fighting non-stop. And Snako...
10 more seconds. Navi can still take this fight. Just want to stall a few more seconds and they can have that Spirit Bear and essentially be at no disadvantage. Jump in on Misery. Socks up, links himself forward, thinking to be able to counter initiate. Doesn't find the opening. Meanwhile, Moon's going to be the target. Cold Embrace is going to buy him a little bit of time, but Dendi, he's actually just a sitting dog until now the Chronosphere comes in. They're trying to just Dendi. They do get the Supernova, but Dendi, he's a tanky motherfucker. He's going to be able to survive through all of that Dendi and now has to reharm, turn, get inside the fight. He's going to be able to take out Resolution. 2 buybacks from DC and 2 heroes down. 2 more they're going to have to buy back, especially if they lose Weehaw. Dendi gonna be able to slow him down with the Shiva, unable to get the vision though to be able to see him out. And don't tell me Dendi's gonna be caught here. The Winter's Curse with the meatball right over it, but they're invulnerable. It doesn't do anything, but Dendi, he pops the Bloodstone, commits suicide, 45 seconds from the clock. They're gonna be able to get the Lone or the Spirit Bear as well, but that's just not enough. Digital Chaos, a nasty fight before that. If it wasn't for the fact that Dendi moved forward like that and had the Bloodstone suicide, that would have been a huge win for Navi.
It would have been. That was very expensive for DC though, buybacking again on both their supports. They've done this before in this game, and this really hurts their economy, but they're keeping themselves in the game. And DC, of course, pulling out the next level anti-combo, the Winter Curse and Destiny Blast. I do enjoy watching that.
Oh, it's so sad seeing Tornado inside of Chronosphere and then Meteor on top of Winter's Curse. Oh man.
Sometimes you just have to everything a guy. And Dendi is on that hit list right now. You see him draw everything.
Alright, so a lot of buybacks blown from Digital Chaos. They are on the verge of losing this game outright, but they do get a momentary reprieve. An Aegis on the Faceless Void, but they also pick up the cheese from that one. That's on the Enchantress.
Yeah, she's gonna make good use of that. She has quite a lot of HP, so if she can get out of the chain hexing for just a second to use that cheese, maybe that could turn around the fight.
Yeah.
Also, the mana is quite welcome for her. She hasn't gotten to that point at all where she has the Moon Shard, and I think in this game she actually has to go MKB next.
Yeah,
if
I think so
any
too.
item at all. So, not the easiest game for Enchantress here.
Laser and Radiance, and even that one fight where we had the Chronosphere Tornado, it was Misery the one who was addressing the Supernova the most, but he missed a number of shots. Part of it being uphill, part of it being, I'm sure there was some Radiance burn damage in there as well that caused some misses. There was just a lot of issues there. I agree with you. I think MKB is actually the priority for Misery now.
Oh, for sure. Interesting to see. They have the refresher, of course, on Weehaw. So big plays could be available right now with the Invoker. Gonna keep a close eye on him. See what he's gonna be doing.
If they can, it's all about the initiation at this point, right? They need to be able to catch the Tinker, and even then, they get the right kind of Splinter Blast into Refresher combination from the Invoker or any of that. Like, Digital Chaos can cream the fight. Otherwise, though, Na'Vi, they're going to be preying on Chaos, right? They can actually dodge some of these initiations. Looks like General a bit too far forward. He steps into that. The arrow lands on him, and even if the damage is all up, they're really going to fight this one. Oh, no! The Chronosphere catching Senego as well as Ninja and I'm not sure how much Cindy can really do to stop this one. It looks like the ultimate going out from the Witch Doctor is not really doing enough. The Refresher goes out from Weehaw, pops that Deafening Blast again. Ninja will get taken out and lashed off from history. Resolution ever so barely keeping his Aegis just alive. Artstyle into the trade, but Mo catches him. He snips that one out.
Yeah, he finds him. Wow, what a terrible decision.
I have no idea why Na'Vi chose to take that one, but
that was. You should probably just accept that General died. He had buyback anyway. It doesn't matter at all if he dies.
Yeah.
But they walk in and Chrono was there, saying hello to him. That was also an Aegis on DC. That's why it blows my mind so hard that Na'Vi went in for that. Maybe they get a little bit too greedy on the back of Dendi and his massive killing spree in this previous fight.
And they've also got some great high ground defenders. Witch Doctor and Phoenix, some of the better support static, even if they aren't the greatest.
Tinker.
Yeah, and obviously the big one being Tinker.
Yeah. They're in a hard spot right now. They don't have.
Yeah. There's not much Dendi can really do here to stop this push. He can't get any Martian machines or lasers because then he would just get too close to DC. So he'll start chipping away at them.
Spamming out what he can, but they do lose one Rax there, and that's the first Rax of the game actually being taken by DC. And this is a very bad indicator for Na'Vi, because they don't really have the best late game. Even though they are the top farmers by far.
Siege Wagons, get him, Cardi! Oh. So close. If only those Fortune Spirits were going for the range Rax.
He'll be back for that.
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't really matter too much. The important Rax was the melee one. And that range Rax will go down, I'm sure.
So, in response to all these BKBs on the side of DC, Dendi has actually opted to drop the Aghanims and pick up the Dagon 5. So he's trying to single target more, burst off one guy really quick and go for the next one. Very old school Tinker style.
Yeah.
And I think that's the correct choice, because he's no longer having that massive impact with the laser, shutting everything down.
Yeah. The more the MKBs and BKBs are able to address that miss percentage.
And also the HP pools just going up means you need to single down more instead of trying to kill everyone at once.
Yeah, we're seeing time and time again Digital Chaos are surviving with less than a quarter HP. And maybe Tinker can actually change all of that.
Oh, Mirana Invis going in on mids. Is there still a gem on? I don't think they have any
Resolution ready to go
at all.
General, okay. All right, they catch him this time around. Na'Vi,
Worked last time.
Don't charge into him after General gets picked.
Yeah.
Artstyle barely gets away. That Winter's Curse was ready to go from Saksa.
Faceless Void is up at 6,000 gold as well now. Could be going for the Moonshard next.
Yeah, I love this choice by Moo and Weehaw. Boot to travel down to the bottom lane. Stops the Tinker push immediately because Tinker's naturally going to try and go to the opposite side of the map and split push. So it addresses that real quickly. They're going to be able to take a tier 2 and go high ground from there.
Yeah. At least they could maybe force the buyback if it happens, just back off immediately. They lost the Aegis right now, so they might want to just back off and not risk it. They have buyback on. Yeah, they have buyback on all that. They just want to control the map right now. In fact, he's going for the Daedalus. Full Daedalus is bringing. Oh, he's selling off the items again. Not really sure here. His resolution. I like the idea of Daedalus, but we'll see if he wants to buy it, as Aegis could be up soon. He might be the one to take that, and Moonshard could be better. Yeah.
Is there? Yeah, I guess Moonshard and
just wait for next Aegis and then go for your next item. I think it's going to be the play.
A tense game 2 between Na'Vi and Digital Chaos.
Well, game 1 was the second fastest game of the Manila Major so far. Yeah. So why not make it one of the longest games?
Only to be outdone by complexity. Swinamelons.
Or newbie, if you want to.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say Swinamelons always likes to be first. So.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure.
Gotta be first in something, right?
Well, that's harsh. I don't know if I'm gonna be let back in the room if I answer you.
Resolution. Oh, he catches Dendy. He's like right into that one. They're going to be able to deal with Arts out first. He's gone. Dendy is going to be going down. Quick still the Invincible Blade on the Resolution. Actually throws it up. Dendy though hit by the tornado. He's going to come back down to ground. So very harsh reality is now. I have no idea how this Navi's going to be able to survive through this one. It's a beautiful with the first managed to catch Arts out and General. The Sunray goes down really well. Locher is actually ripping him apart. Now Dendy buys back as he sees the opportunity to catch more. He's going to go for the rearm. Blink Shiva's constantly Moo being spotted out ever barely the fight. Gets him in the end, and Moo will be controlled long enough for them to get that kill and maybe force some buybacks. Moo doesn't have one. Weehaw does.
Weehaw will have to buy back here. He really should. He didn't have to use his refresher in that fight as well, so he's ready for a big fight.
If they can catch Dendy somehow.
I think there's no way he's going to be holding on to this.
Yeah. The pressure.
Maybe.
It's the General. Holy cow.
It's rehearsed quite a bit now.
March, march, march. Dendy covers the retreats of Navi. But that is still, I think, ultimately a win from Digital Chaos. They have a very distinct, clear-cut win condition, which is kill Dendy, the game's over.
Pretty much. Even if he has his Bloodstone, it's only 9 charges, and no buyback available now means, as you say, he cannot get caught out anymore. And Faceless Void has so much damage output right now. He's looking for mid, but doesn't have Chronosphere just yet.
Yeah. If they can just get buybacks on their heroes for the side of Digital Chaos
they could
and push in the next 2 or 3 minutes, they have a pretty big opportunity to be able to end this game.
Oh, Saxayas has the counter Tinker item.
Nice.
The Lotus Orb. That is so massive. Not only does it remove the Hex if you have a person who is currently being hexed, but also Tinker, big chance of screwing himself over.
Every little help you could possibly get. They're going to TP Troll's Tome, and I'm not even sure if the Vanguard's going to help out too much, but we'll see. They are going to be able to take the mid laner back. 10 more seconds on Weehaw, and that is not enough time for Navi to do anything else but take the mid laner back, so they're going to start backing themselves away. So,
very good timing on that push by Navi. Just realizing that we should have enough time to kill this and put them in a really bad spot. Even if they have buyback, they don't want to use it there.
I think this is smart. I think Navi really want to hang around this area and see if they can get a quick surprise pick or team fight on DC, knowing that DC have an opportunity to be able to go for some sort of endgame scenario. But if they play too aggressive and get into the wrong kind of fight, General's going to be able to jump. He's got Resolution already controlled up. Now Tanego gets right in the middle. Things really great tornado. Definitely Glass goes down as well. Weehaw, Supernova, laid out. Resolution has to deal with that one first. And now General's right in the middle. Can't kill the egg. Can't kill the egg in time. That means that Weehaw's going to be stunned up. BKB activated, but he gets smashed up. Stephanie Blast goes down, hits Dendy in the background, but Dendy manages to blow up Resolution. The Dagger goes into play, and here comes the buybacks. Oh, the arrow! Moo! He hits it on Dendy. DC, they get healed, but they're not going to be able to follow that up.
Boyd is so scared. He doesn't have BKB ready. He can't go in. Weehaw has to be careful here. His team is not willing to back him up on this one.
They bop back, hit the arrow, still not choosing to go for that fight. And Navi are now the ones with a huge advantage. They just forced the buyback from DC. They can give themselves the age of the cheese.
This is the biggest back and forth series so far. And DC, they've had a lot of games like this. Against Rings, it was also very back and forth. But looks like Navi in control right now. Gonna go for the Aegis on Tinker if they can get it. Oh, actually, he picks up the cheese. Wait. He's gonna swap it up. He wants the Aegis.
That is definitely the play. With all the... I mean, you know, Digital Chaos are willing to blow Chronosphere and everything they have to be able to kill you, so can't rely just on a cheese.
Resolution is pretty willing to blow his Chronosphere on just about anything he can find right now. I mean, the poor Beastmaster has been taking a few of them.
So it's just, he has the Abyssal Blade, right? On the Lone Druid Bear?
Yes.
So he's getting a second Abyssal Blade, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. It's a pretty, let's go. It's a pretty standard build. Just going for the multiple. And then you have so much Disable coming in with the possible Root, more Bashes, and then Savage Roar, of course, being a beautiful skill.
Yeah, between those 2 guaranteed Bashes and
he's looking for a future pick if he can find it, but he's actually gonna meatball and split push that a little bit.
Gotta keep up that pressure. You know, Na'Vi, gotta look at a strike here. Misery.
Once they get into your
realizes
base,
he's too far forward.
your base is gone very quickly with the Beastmaster and Lone Druid.
Right.
They kill it off so quick. DC have to be aggressive in the way they take this fight. I think they should actually just get rid of the Mantle Spell, avoid and get the Dagger. Positioning for him is pretty worth it right now. Either that or get the Refresher Orb. I'm not loving the Daedalus pick that he went for last. I think either Blink or Refresher would have been much better.
Given how farm Weehaw is, he doesn't necessarily have to be the primary damage dealer, right? He can, like, the disables can be everything they need because he's got 3 damage dealers behind him.
Even Enchantress can deal at top. Trying to go in, BKB being used for this.
Okay, Lone Druid, guaranteed tier 3. It looks like maybe even a melee rack with this BKB, and they just can't stop it fast enough. Now, here comes the Chronosphere. It's on Raw. This isn't big enough, but maybe they can kill him. Wholesale, there actually goes the Supernova. They managed to be able to buy time to be able to get the save. That's going to be a full refresh. Raw heals up the full off of that Supernova, and Digital Chaos have blown their BKBs. This is the blast onto Archstyle. He's going to be able to get the one-off kill there, but Digital Chaos still don't have enough guarantee win this fight. As now Na'Vi start coming forward, Digital Chaos all low. They're going to have to give up their melee racks. There goes that counter item to the Tinker.
It's all the Invoker
onto Dendi. DC, they've given up a lane of racks. Now they just need to get back to bounce, but now he gets bashed up. Weehaw managed to get a save there from the Cold Embrace, but they got the 4 on him. He has to go back to the mountain to try and heal himself up. Actually pushes forward. Definitely blast. Takes out the Bear. Now going for Raw. Digital trying to help out, but he can't just stop it. Then he comes in, pulls up one, going for another one. Misery. He's going to be target. No, he just bashed up. There goes that Aegis. Misery still down. Raw. He managed to barely heal himself up with a key. He's still going to go down. Deadly right in the middle of this raid. Trying to stop it, but no. He ends up going down. 2 minutes on the clock with no buyback.
Chase is going after the General as well. Just trying to catch more.
He's trying to get it. 5 more seconds. Shadow Blade TP out. Point blank arrows will stop that one, but they don't have the vision. They're trying to be able to catch this.
And meanwhile, they bring down the Phoenix as well, chasing with the Winter Wyvern and Invoker. Great kills there. Wow, this game, it's just so intense.
10 more seconds. We'll have the buyback for the Tinker up in time. But DC with 2 racks down against a Lone Druid, there's no way they can just sit in their base anymore.
No, DC have to go. They're definitely on a clock here where they want to push and even out the racks at least. They're in such a dangerous position, having no tier 3 tower bottom. Here we see, of course, that initiation. I like the BKB Lone Druid. It was really, really great, but that Phoenix Egg was great.
It was such a great save. What really went wrong here for Na'Vi? If you look at just that
they
fight,
ran out of gas.
So good.
It's just the Tinker, after a long fight like this, starts to go really low on his mana pool, and he could not keep fighting, but they kept going in with the rest of the heroes.
Big props to Snako for that beautiful save, giving Na'Vi a fighting chance.
Tinker and Phoenix did buyback, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So they were forced to come back into this.
And that is exactly why Digital Chaos are smoked up looking for a pick, because 1 kill by itself can win the game for them. But it goes both ways.
It definitely does. There's not many heroes who have buyback right now. It's only the Witch Doctor, Winter Wyvern, Mirana, and the Lone Druid. Lone Druid, of course, being the biggest hero with the buyback available, but if he dies right now, he doesn't have a bear anyway, so...
So it may not
so
even...
may not, yeah.
It may be all kind of useless heroes that have buyback.
I think Mirana can still get quite a lot stronger with her final item, by the way.
True.
She has 1 full inventory slot available, and if she gets something like an E-Blade, that could be really good. Just helping out more with the burst potential, also being able to save people from the Lone Druid Bear.
You don't think he should continue down the right-click build and go for, like, MKB?
I think he could, but the E-Blade gives quite a bit of right-click, and it can also stop the threat of the bear in many scenarios.
Yeah, a saving item for potentially the Invoker,
but MKB or even the Daedalus could have been fine too in this game.
Really just
since the Aghanim's is gone now.
Comes down to feel at this point, right?
Yeah, any item is going to be fine because it is BKB duration. He hits quite hard.
Maybe in that case, because Digital Chaos, they have been set up for this. they can sit back because the buyback was used on the Tinker. They forced enough. They don't have to continue to be aggressive. Maybe they sit back, spend their time farming, get those next round of super late game finishing items, the finishing touches on these cores, and force Na'Vi to be the ones to attempt to go high ground. But that is still a dangerous proposition. Letting Na'Vi determine the pace of that game by giving them the opportunity to push into you. Even if you win that defense, you still may get mega'd and be forced into a situation where you have to all-out push into the enemies. So
yeah, and the danger of getting picked off in this game, DC actually have a smoke available in their shop. I feel like they never run out of smokes. I don't
really
know how. But Na'Vi, they have 3 minutes until their next smoke, so there's a little bit of a timing window here during the buyback being down, where DC could go for a smoke play.
maybe they were stockpiling them in the early game.
They probably were. I mean, buying one smoke immediately to just start the next cooldown is a thing.
Aggressive wards being placed down by Na'Vi. DC still want to keep this map control.
Trying to wrap around here. They know the enemy are on the other side. Trying to sunstrike an arrow, find any intel they can. Oh, nice. Tornado actually gonna catch art style, but they're not gonna go in for that.
The ward looks like going to be cleaned up. I mean, they've been pinging it, so they know about it. But Snako tried to get himself a really aggressive ward inside the enemy base.
This Arcane Rune Invoker just having fun sunstriking so quickly again. Octarine and Arcane Rune on Invoker. I kind of feel bad for him that they didn't get to take a fight during this.
Yeah, he's like, who needs rearm, right?
Definitely. Just have enough spells to always cycle. And I'm looking to art style and thinking, where is he gonna go now? He's gonna go for a BKB next on his Witch Doctor, because he's actually got 4.1k gold. There's so much money on everyone in this game.
That ultimate. This late into the game, it doesn't do quite as much, but it's still definitely one of the decent threats. That X upgrade.
Yeah. Looking across all the heroes in the game right now, there's almost 40,000 gold stashed in just current gold. Like, that they're holding on to, not items worth. Yeah, which is very funny. But, of course, buybacks are big. We're 72 minutes in now. Both teams trying to respect a lot.
I like this BKB pickup, though, for Dendi.
Yeah, at some point you need a BKB, and he's just trading off a little bit of his nukes in order to be able to go more aggressively into the center of the fight.
Yeah.
But he still has to be careful about some things though. With one of an ulti, the Enchantress and her impetus damage, and of course, the Chronosphere.
Yeah. And that is really the big thing, right? That with the BKB, this now forces Digital Chaos to try and get that Chronosphere on you, because they can't rely on the... Well, I guess there's still the Winter's Curse.
And it's not just that Chronosphere, it's one of the Chronospheres.
Yes.
Because he has that Refresher available now. BKB, Blink, and Refresher. I love how he just changed up this itemization for late game. This is a great understanding of what he needs to do.
Both teams poking and prodding at each other, but neither one giving up an opening in their defense.
Oh, this could be a good smoke though, but they see that no one is pushing bottom, being a little bit wary here. Now we're gonna TP straight out. Alright then. Not this time, DC. Not this time.
No. Man, the vision from Na'Vi is
it's disgusting.
so good.
The Hawks, the Boars, and their wards, of course. If we
look at
DC's,
Digital,
yeah.
they have the defeatist wards. Not just one of them, but three of them. I always call it that, because people throwing them down before your tier 3 tower falls, that's the defeatist mentalist.
Yeah.
Word.
I mean, it's also such an extremely defensive position, and that it just means that you're never going to feel comfortable.
Well, your aggressive smokes are just almost impossible to pull off when you do this, because you have no intel outside of your base. You're just like, okay, where do we go? And speaking of smokes, here comes Na'Vi.
Na'Vi in a very interesting position to be able to catch Digital Chaos, as they just may push a bit too far forward.
They see them.
Oh no, they're actually in the high ground. They see the board. They know Na'Vi's close. And they just need to see the opening channel, get to the jump on a move, but immediately the Cold Embrace gets laid out. They get the Supernova, it's on the high ground too, but it may not affect the fight. His Resolution managed to get the Chronosphere, Green Presence, but he doesn't have them enough mana. He He can't actually pop it. He gets the BKB at secondary time, but it doesn't matter. He's being ripped and stretched by the Bashers. Now the Winter's Curse comes in to save him, but it may not be enough. They manage to get the Tinker. He's down for 2 minutes and a half. Digital Chaos are actually going to be able to win this fight. Here comes the TP in. They're going to try and win this one without. Now the ultimate Chrono. Resolution stops this jump in. Tinker still has an opportunity to be able to come in and try and wipe out a couple of these heroes. Here comes Denny. He's aim blows him up. Sasha's up next. Bye-bye Bernie. Next up, General. They're trying to find more. Dendy, he's not going to see anything else. Digital Chaos managed to keep both the Void as well as the Invoker alive, and they still have 2 buybacks.
That timing for Dendy's buyback to come off cooldown, he's like, just let me come back into the fight.
He's spam clicking. He's like, back, damn you.
Definitely, and they get the sweet payoff as well. Aegis and Cheese just waiting right there after they win the fight.
All right, a second life for Dendy. He needs it too.
Yeah, at least for DC, they still have buyback on both the Void and Invoker, so that's something that they still have, but they use 2 refreshers in that fight. And if they push right now, Na'Vi are in a great spot to close this game.
Digital Chaos hoping to be able to hide on their high ground and keep their buybacks intact, but that's just simply not going to happen. I think Na'Vi, they're going to go down this bottom lane, they're going to force the buyout. There's already one from our Winter Wyvern. He knows it's coming.
Might as well do it as soon as possible. If you know that you're going to get forced to buy back, do not hold off on it, because then your cooldown is going to be longer later on, right?
Yeah, maybe, just maybe you scare Na'Vi back enough, long enough that Moo can keep his buyback, which is obviously way more important. Maybe the stalling tactics of Splinter Blast, and it looks like it might actually work here. Na'Vi are not in a position to be able to push forward into the base, so they will keep that critical buyback. And these little things that we're talking about here may not seem like so big, keeping 1 buyback on one of the 4 damage dealers that you have, but when the game, the margins here are so razor thin, every little bit helps in that final clash.
And that's where it's just so nerving to play against a hero like Tinker, because you know, he has Aegis now, he's going to be very aggressive, he could look to just initiate on anyone, and the Chain Hex, there's no getting out of that, unless Winter Wyvern is there to save you. So they really have to play close and make sure that they have the loaded sword to counter Dendy.
Dendy farm, I don't know what you're possibly going to be able to get this late in the game, but
he's 9 slotted right now, I guess, but he's farming for wards and stuff, I suppose. It's not like his supports are starving or anything. They're looking pretty good on their ends in terms of item progression.
Well, Digital Chaos are happy to try and wait out the Aegis. I don't imagine Na'Vi are going to give them that opportunity. I'm sure this high ground push will be coming before the Aegis is down.
It's just so risky for Na'Vi as well to force a full 5-man push when they have Refresher, Void, and Invoker. We saw in that last fight, if Void did not run out of mana, that would have been so sad. Actually, he needs to somehow get a little bit more mana into his pool, because he has 900. So, when he goes, he doesn't have enough to use 2 Chronospheres.
What do you need to swap out? You need to, like, get a Scotty to swap out for one of those damage items?
There's no mana boots on your team or anything. I don't know, maybe he needs, you know, Saksa to pick up a bottle and start bottling him. A mango.
Operation.
He needs
Operation Mango. All right.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
All right. Let's see.
It's quite important. It really is, because normally when you have Refresher on Void like this, you definitely want to use your 2 Chronospheres after each other and chain stun something. You don't want to do it 2 times in the fight, but at different moments.
Yeah.
Also, this Mjolnir effect looks really crazy on Move. I haven't paid attention to it, but the red lightning, kind of cool, dude.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, that's the compendium and work.
Yes, look at it.
Pretty lights. It's the little things that we need to be able to unwind this very intense matchup, as we've got 2 minutes on the clock, but neither team is looking to fight just yet. Both teams farming away, getting those buyback, trying to get them back into play.
Yeah, it's just so much about positioning right now. I would love to see Moon just get to a point where he can buy up that full Daedalus and increase his DPS so much for a next team fight, but he knows he needs to hold buyback money as well, so he needs to save up, but right now he could finish it. He's gonna send out the Courier, finally has that Daedalus, which is gonna massively increase his damage. Having the Mjolnir for attack speed already.
We have
in a much better
the
spot.
Aghanims for the Lone Druid as well, so he doesn't have to worry so much about the limitations of that leash. And
He also has a Lotus Orb of his own, so
Yeah.
he can definitely mess with DC a little bit as well.
yeah, we get the right kind of counter to Splinter Blast.
There's actually not that much.
yeah,
they
that's
can
actually
return.
pretty much it.
Well, there's like Winter
Or,
Wyvern
sorry.
ulti,
Yeah,
there's
sorry.
the Cold Snap, and other than that, there's not much. There's no Hex, in fact, on all of DC,
Yeah.
and no Orchid either, so I guess it's a pretty low value Lotus Orb.
Yeah.
Anyway,
A question of whether if he gets the right Winter's Curse counter,
Yeah.
then that'll obviously
I mean,
be
if
game winning.
he gets that off, that is massive. And just putting a Lotus Orb on Tinker to scare the enemy from focusing him.
That's true. Yeah, that actually could be a really big factor. Maybe because of the Lotus Orb that Tinker has to deal with, where he's potentially Scythe of Icing himself, they need to be able to find an opening to take that
Oh god.
counter Scythe of Ice off of him.
You're saying he built a Lotus Orb to counter Dendy's own
Lotus Orb? Yeah.
his own Hex?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's some next level countering here. Ditya Ra already ahead of his time. Mirana in this going off again, but V-Hawk has seen them. And it's gonna be hard to find anything here again for DC. Probably gonna waste their time.
Those next round of wards should be coming up though for Digital Chaos. Maybe they can finally get themselves some aggressive vision rather than the 3 wards that they had in base. Obviously, not really giving them too many opportunities.
And,
They're just kind of blind Moonlight shadowing and running out.
Support life is looking really good on both teams right now. On one side you have Weehaw buying all the wards for you, and on the other side you have Dendy sponsoring the supports quite heavily as well. So it's never been easier to get your acquiring items is easy now.
Move.
Uh-oh, no! Down out, Scythe of Ice, these could be abysmal off East Pop.
There is no way for you to get out of that one. You can't afford to be that far forward and just TP out right in front of the enemy.
He needs to have Saxfeld behind him if he's going to be like that.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit aggressive of a play. He's going to be forced to buy back for sure. Na'Vi, they know what they can make happen with this. And we'll see. They can get the correct initiation. Void still has no solution for his mana problems, by the way, so I don't see any Mago in sight, Capitalist. It's gonna be harsh.
We'll see whether or not he's able to get off that
Second
double
arrow.
Chrono Spear because it's obviously going to be needed. Buyback will be down for Moo in this next fight. His positioning also going to be rather key as DC have to hold the high ground. One lane rack, there goes the jump forward, Chronosphere, managed to get 4! Oh my god, Resolution now with a refresher, but it doesn't have enough mana, but still, they have the Deathly Blast, they're controlling Digi Rob beautifully, but the Supernova on the other side of the cliff, and Echo clutches it in a moment of despair, and now Digital Chaos gonna lose. One, Misery's already down, blown up by the Dagon here, and now the fight slows down. Digital Chaos retreat back to their high ground while Na'Vi do the same. Moo jumps forward, he gets the Spirit Bear, a free pickoff.
Yeah, so he has to use the resummon there, but DC still have that Void ulti. I wonder how glad they're going to be to take a fight though. Enchantress is a big part of their damage. Na'Vi, of course, just taking it easy.
At the same time, so is the Spirit Bear. They can take that one away from Na'Vi.
Man, this is the most evenly matched I've seen two teams in a very long time.
This late into the game, 82 minutes.
This is crazy, and Soneko is making massive plays. Not just that he picks up the guy who's being focused, he makes sure to do it in the best possible position always.
Yeah.
Putting himself where it's so hard to reach and get to, because there's definitely a lot of attack speed on the side of DC, and he could die, but nope, he's got that positioning down. What a crazy game.
So Na'Vi not feeling it. Not gonna go for the high ground push with a cooldown on their Spirit Bear, with no Aegis, no Witch Doctor,
And
no Supernova either.
yeah, there's just... It's just gonna be hard to go straight off. I think they want to have the resummon again, that's the biggest thing. Sure, having the Witch Doctor is kind of good too, I suppose. But, Na'Vi, they're starting to set up now. Witch Doctor, of course, has traveled. Gonna be TPing in. Oh,
Did he just catch him? Dendy is going to be right on top of the line. Still tries to go for the rearm, but now the Chronosphere in his turn catches Dendy. And we're going to be able to take him out for 2 minutes and maybe force the buyback.
he does have
Also
buyback.
Spirit Bear as well. Managed to get the Abyssal Blade onto Saksa. Dendy doesn't want to blow his buyback just yet.
Range
Looks
Rax
like that'll
was picked
stop
off by
Spirit
Bear. Range Rax went down to the Beastmaster ratting. And second bear is dead. 8 seconds cooldown on it right now.
They're looking for more. Seneko will be able to get the dive away, but Weehaw, he's a quick bugger. We might still be able to catch somebody here. Ditcher slots him right as he TP's out.
Not gonna be able to catch him there. Scouting Roshan, not up yet, just yet. Tinker,
And it's gonna be
87
difficult.
seconds.
Look at that. I was wondering what that was going into, the ultimate orb he had earlier. That is a full Mjolnir now. And I was just about to say it's difficult for Digital Chaos, even though the Tinker is down and they want to be able to force that buyback. It's difficult with 2 lanes of racks down and even the range racks down at the bottom lane. A completely exposed melee racks is all that's left standing between them and Mega Creeps.
It's so close. It's so close. Navi are so close they can taste it. But Digital Chaos have that team fight. They definitely do. And Void keeping his refresher in base so he can always use that to get his secondary ulti up. But now with the Mjolnir, he's gonna add tons more damage as well. I feel they're just scaling slightly better than Navi here. So much money put into Lone Druid and Tinker.
Are they going to go for a play here? Go for the play onto the melee racks. The Spirit Bear, he's going to go for it. Backdoor protects and be damned. It jumps through.
I mean, it is slowly doing it.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Something's got to put a stop to this one. They're actually going to have a TP back here from the Invoker, and this actually forced the rest of Digital Chaos away. They can't go for the high ground push because of that play.
Yeah, that's a very great defense, and that makes sure that Tinker doesn't have to buy back. So he's going to be fine as well. Sneaky rats.
The one opening that Digital Chaos had for the longest time, I mean 20 to 25 minutes I would say, has been the amount of time that Navi have been controlling this game for the most part, have had the slight advantage, have had the map control, have had essentially that one more win condition sort of scenario. And
Yes.
Digital Chaos had one sliver there. One sliver where they were able to take some control.
Oh, and Roche is up again here. And Navi, they're going in for it. Wonder if DC can even get there or if they realize.
I mean, is it even worth it at this point to try and scramble into a Roshan pit fight against a Phoenix?
It just
When
they're gonna get a second teeth if they get it, by the way, because Lone Druid never had his, so he's been saving that. And that Roshan is definitely gonna go their way, and DC are just dealing with the mid push.
all right, Denny shows up for the Aegis. Was that is that Roshan number 5, 6?
I'm not sure. I lost count, Catalyst. I lost count.
Either way, it's been a long and grueling game for both teams. Here in game number 2 in this winners the group.
Such a massive tournament as well. So much on the line.
Resolution makes the jump in. He managed to get the Chronosphere on it too, focusing down Digiraw first, but remember that tease is going to be able to come into play. The Supernova actually managed to catch and once again save the low throws on Dendy. Right in the middle of all these throws, they get the Winter's Curse on him, but also stops the damage from that Meteor Blast. Now DC have the opportunity to go back through. That Winter's ultimate might actually kill Misery. They managed to get another Chronosphere, and now the Meteor Blast over the top. They managed to take down life number 1 of Dendy, and Snake will also fall. But now Dendy's back, and he sees the opportunity to be able to end this game outright, but maybe he's too far forward. Resolution, he's in the damage war. He gets him off on Dendy. Dendy still trying to back himself away. To split the back a little bit more. Resolution going for it to the side of the life. A little bit more damage. Baby, Resolution. He just needs the blast of the lightning to finish Dendy off, but he gets it. He gets the Dendy kill. No, Dendy still dies. He has the buyback ready to go, and so does Resolution. Meanwhile, the bear is chasing down Stocks up, but Digiron's gonna go down first.
Oh god, the arrow actually brings down Dendy there through. Precisely fires it off, but now they are mega creep. They have to go now and finish this game. They're not gonna be able to play this one out.
They catch the Spirit Bear again. This actually could be big.
Yeah,
The BKB goes down. They know they have to save this bear, but another bash comes through. The Sunstrike also going to be able to land and finishes it off.
And
Now he has no Spirit Bear, even if he buys back.
he can buy back and buy refresher.
Oh wow,
He can actually do that.
that would be insane.
He can actually buy back refresher and then have his spirit bear. And he might get forced to do that. We'll see. As DC are pushing down the mid lane. God, these mega creeps, they're hard to kill. Saksa is really struggling trying to bring them down.
Divine Rapier on an Invoker, full right-click build here from Weehaw. He's got something to prove, even if this isn't secret. If he could
He's
take
gonna
the
do
top
it.
of the secret,
There
there
it
it is. The refresher, a second Spirit Bear, and this is something that Digital Chaos may not be expecting. Something that turns the tide into Navi's favor.
Oh, God.
25 seconds left on the Tinker, but the buyback is inevitable at this point in time. There's no way he can leave that one. DC threatened to go straight for the throne, but now bounce back. Takes the tier 3, start retreating. Navi, they've got Megas. There's not necessarily a whole lot of need, but now the Moonlight Shadow, the fake back, go back in. The Spirit
the
Bear
Necro is there,
is actually going to start threatening these tier 4 towers.
Necro revealing them. They can't get in and find a pick.
Can't get anything.
And meanwhile, their base is also being ratted.
Yeah.
Just slowly, this Spirit Bear. Oh, they catch the Spirit Bear.
Oh, the Spirit Bear actually may be decent here.
That's a good pickoff if they can get it.
Come on, move. Oh, the arrow just in time. Now the Cold Snap. It's going to be able to control the Spirit Bear. We've never been so excited about a summon kill like that. But again, any razor-thin margin that goes one way or the other for these two evenly matched up teams can mean everything. 60 seconds for a Spirit Bear, but
It's
the
all
lanes
up
are
to
pushed
Tinker.
in.
It's all up to Tinker right now. Keeping the lanes pushed in, make sure that they don't get to their base. Of course, he has no buyback though. So he's really got to play a little bit scared. And of course, DC trying to make their way to the base again. Everyone just making their way. They have travels on Invoker, but he doesn't want to push too far bottom when he knows Beastmaster and Tinker could come in.
Right. Your team does seem to be able to handle Megas pretty well. You already had the Invoker with the Mjolnir earlier,
They
but
just have so much farm on the side of DC. That's how they handle it.
yeah.
They're just really farm.
Well, compendium predictions.
Yep,
I think you know
90
where this
plus.
is going. 90 plus, almost 900 CS for the Tinker.
Yep.
Doesn't get crazier than this. Double
going
blinks in,
straight
triple
in.
blinks in, DC! Oh, they're grasping in the dark for anything to be able to seek out Navi, but Navi already back in the pound. They're going to go straight for the throne here, trying to threaten Navi as immediately as possible and force them into an air. Here comes the Chronosphere. They're catching out Taneko, but the Lone Druid's right in the middle of everything. Going for move first. The refresher goes down. Primal Roar on the Weehaw. They get the ultimate on him, but they're controlling him well enough to get the kill. That's going to be the Divine Rapier on the deck. Now max buybacks. DC threatening to be able to try and get back out of here to be able to save anything here. Resolution is going to be the target. Supernova goes down, and now a Chronosphere. It wins everything, but the Supernova will go down. Yeah, sure, but Navi are still in good control here. The arrow goes out. Arcel, he gets caught, but they're going for the throne. DC, you're in trouble. Navi, they've taken their tier 4. They're beating on the throne. Oh my God, they're gonna do it. Navi have done it. Navi have claimed the group. 4-0 taking out DC, and a 2-0 sweep, and they go for the throne race.
Look at
Navi
them.
are back, baby!
Those are some big smiles after that. 91 minutes, 27 seconds. And it came down to that. A TP into the enemy base. Dear God.
There is no question about who deserves to move forward in this group. Navi have done it. In an hour-and-a-half long game, they have proven themselves trial by fire against Digital Chaos in
And
this